Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the tea house where tales are told. Come on in and sit by the fire, and this time, put your feet up. You deserve it. But don't put them in the fire. That's one of those bad ideas you hear about. If you like the content, feel free to leave a like and a comment in the tip jar and subscribe to our weekly tales. It helps us out an astronomical amount. We want to share our stories out there and hopefully help a few more people through their Tuesdays. Thanks as always for listening, and without a further ado, it's time to open up shop.
Hello.
Hey, look at those people.
Hi. Hopefully everyone's having
You are
a good
silent.
day.
Hopefully your feet are not burnt, only slightly toasted.
Unless you want them that way.
Well, crispy feet.
I would still say keep it
burnt
back
foot
keep it
smell
back
in
a
the
few
house
inches.
is not-
Burnt foot smell!
That's the only reason. That's all we care about. Gotta get
That
rid of that
sounds
burnt
like
foot
a
smell.
garbage pail kid. Burnt
really
foot
good.
smell.
Oh, Ken-
Oh,
Not
Candace,
really
your
coming
audio's-
through Candace.
Oh no! Is
Oh,
it
you're good
doing
now.
it again?
No, you're good.
Yeah, no, you're good now.
It might be a threshold thing that you got going down.
Just speak roughly.
Marge.
Embrace your inner JoJo.
Anger, I must.
Last time. Our party joined hands with Paka as family after leaving the dungeon's interface office. Visiting the family home, the party unlocked a new level of power within themselves, and after some shopping at Cisco's pawn shop and some lavish clothes shopping, they trekked to the Emerald Gates on the northwestern city limits, passing by a rare procession of elves moving through the city, and on to the McGurmick farm to figure out what is happening with all this talk of water mobbits. After some brief investigation, they await the nightfall, where the soap is to go missing, and Heb McGurmick, the elder son, distracts Vincent, Killian, and Jojo on the western side of the farm in order to allow his younger brother, Obi McGurmick, to try and steal some soap from the storehouse. Obi is shocked to find Matilda lying in wait, and Matilda and Obi take to the forest, while Heb is magically persuaded to tell Jojo and Vincent everything he knows about what's going on. At the end of last episode, time was sped up a little bit to try and cover the travel time, as Obi and Matilda decided to head into the forest and meet with this Quaria together. The rest of the party were currently indisposed. They moved through the forest at a fast pace along hidden pathways and arrived promptly at a grove pond coated in lavender soap bubbles and dammed by dozens of fallen trees. As a woman peers her head out of the water at the approaching humans, a little bit less than an hour has passed. Jojo, Vincent, and Killian are currently speaking with Heb as he leads them to the farm to tell them what is going on, but we will explore the pond scene first and then shuffle time back a little bit to see what is happening with the rest of the party, while Matilda and Obi were heading towards the grove. Matilda, we begin with you.
Yee.
And now I must arrange.
Resident spooky bitch reporting for duty. Leading small children into the forest.
Or are they leading you?
Either way, they're gonna get dead or eaten, so like, it's a Grimm's fairy tale either way.
Yeah, honestly, grim, on point. Very grim. Matilda, you are at the grove. As the woman looks up at you from the water's lavender edge, her hair drifting along the top surface of the water, and in the sparse glow given off by your celestial light, anything below the water surface is completely obscured. You see literally just that purple foam and like soap scum covering the entire length of this like 80-foot wide pond. As Obi slowly begins to approach the pond with soap in hand, this little bundle bag, the figure slowly breaches the surface and bobs up and down repeatedly before going back under, appearing in a new location, and just staring at you periodically with nervous suspicion. What do you do?
I just kind of stand there and stare like someone with my little book, and I'm ready to take notes. Or I've probably taken a few notes, but I'm just letting Obi do his thing. And I'm observing. Science.
Just begins to stare at you. Go ahead and roll nature for me.
Oh, nature. Do, 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 do.
$13? You're not entirely certain what this creature is. As it bobs below the water, you've seen it move with a fluidity in this just large lavender, just soap-infested pond that does not lend itself to like a mortal of any kind. This is, as far as you can tell, some kind of otherworldly creature. And as it brings itself below the surface to where you can no longer see it, and that last bit of hair just breaches the bottom, it appears in a new location so quickly that it could not have been just someone attempting to swim through this lake. Obi begins to walk up, and this creature looks towards you as you continue to study it. Brings itself up, opens its mouth slightly, and you can see these sharp teeth, almost like that of a shark, as the mouth opens and just begins to... Obi. Bobs back down, comes up a few seconds later. Obi, approaches. Yeah. Here, I brought more of the stuff you like. Opens the bag and just slowly begins to drop the soap in. It slides through. Roll perception, Matilda.
Okay. Oh, perception. Close the window, bad idea.
15. On the outer edge of the water, you see something near the trees move up and out of the water and into this little bit of tall grass and rough bramble. Just 40 feet to your left, that is slowly moving around. As you glance, thing has to be at least 15 or more feet long. That is slowly encircling the area, but keeping to these hidden pathways and just outside of the range of your light. You manage to spot it briefly, and then it slithers into the darkness. As Obi approaches and drops the soap into the water, she raises herself up, and you can see just faint little bits of that purple lavender sticks to her collarbone and carries down. As the figure of this woman reaches out and brings her arms out, Obi begins to step forward towards her. She still looks at you and regards you with suspicion, but as you have remained somewhat neutral in this entire scenario, she just looks at you with these bright opalescent eyes, and then brings her arms around Obi, who goes in for a hug, pulls back, and just descends into the water.
Obi, there's something in the woods. It looks very big. Probably wants to eat us. I don't think it likes the light.
You may be a little bit confused. Obi has been taken underneath the water surface.
Oh, underneath? Oh, I thought he was oh!
Yeah.
She reaches forward, grabbed onto him, and slowly went underneath the water surface.
I thought it was I thought it was just a nice, quick little hug, and then.
Oh no! Did he seem like he was calm?
Yeah, he looked.
Yeah, he opened his arms, and she walked up, wrapped her arms around him, and then just backed away into the water. There's a little rickety wooden, what looks like it was once a bridge that has just been laid down that slowly descends into the water.
All right, I rip out a page from my notebook, and then leave it there, and I write on it, being not dead, went for a swim, and just put leave the paper, put a rock on top of it, and I kind of I leave some of my stuff there, and then I go and I hop in.
Roll dexterity saving throw. You do have advantage, or you do not have disadvantage on this, as you hear something moving in from behind you. This strange creature that you had seemed to have clocked beforehand.
Oh man, I always forget that my dex is 0. I'm so not dexterous.
You just rolled a d20 there.
Yeah, there's no pluses to it. She has 0.
Well, it should say +0.
Oh.
But that's okay. So the first one was a 2, yes?
Yes. Second one was a 14.
What was the second one for?
Did you say it was with advantage? Because
No, you just didn't have disadvantage.
okay. Well,
As
then
the
never mind.
creature moved in to grapple onto you, you feel this just wet, almost rubbery, like entire feeling move all the way up your body and slowly just begin to encompass you as you see the flat face and wide eyes of this little eel, head turned to the side to be able to stare at you, just begins to constrict and hold you in place. You slowly get brought down to the ground as you are grappled by this eel, and it just begins to like pull you inch at a time towards the water surface. You are currently restrained. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on you. Meanwhile,
Midnight snack.
as you are slowly pulled towards the water surface, we cycle back. One moment here. Restrained. Perfect. We find ourselves once more at the
I'm sure she's
farmhouse.
fine.
You're fine.
She hasn't tried
don't
to
need to
do
worry about
anything yet, so maybe she can blast her way to this. We don't know how strong these things are. They could just be like,
And I started
hey, and run
blasting.
away.
Is Heb
And
like
then I was blasting.
floating?
He is currently under suggestion, and that's like a little
Oh.
effect to remind me of that.
I was like,
Oh.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I would like to help you.
Vincent turns to Jojo and Killian. Were you guys, because there was a bit of confusion at the end of the last session, were you guys going to head off into the woods, or were you, what was your intentions?
We currently don't know that Matilda is there or on her way there.
We bombed our perception checks last time.
If you had an argument to go talk to the parents and have this guy explain everything that's been happening, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah,
guys
my
are-
only other thing was I was going to suggest if you guys go get Matilda before we leave.
I mean, if it was a matter of going into the forest, Killian would definitely go and check in with Matilda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But if you're just talking to the parents, then she probably wouldn't. She'd still leave her there just in case.
Yeah, I'd wait until after talking to the parents to check on Matilda.
Yes.
So Killian's going to go to the shed to check on Matilda, and me and Jojo will go to the front door.
No, we said we were going to talk to the parents first.
Okay.
All together, and then
Cool.
All right. So you guys, with Heb in tow, who is kind of walking in, he's just telling you as he moves. Yes, we had been taking the soap. This is true, but it's for a good purpose. There is a woman in the woods, ever so
Who?
lonely.
Needs soap.
She likes it.
Okay.
Are you
long have
judging her? You like soap, don't you?
Yeah, soap's great. Keeps you clean, smells good.
I'll knock on the door again.
How long have you been bringing her soap?
It's been a few months. It helps her feel better.
And how long have you known her?
I don't have to tell you that.
Why?
I don't fucking feel like it. Who do you think you are asking me questions like that?
Hey, look, man. I'm trying to figure this out, do my mission, and maybe like save your girlfriend's life or something. Because
See, he's sitting there just like trying to fight back against this persuasion as he's just like getting angry towards you. Repeat your question one more time.
it was how long have they known each other?
Obi's known her longer than me. You can see he's just enraged at this fact as he says it. But he's too young. She doesn't care for him like she cares for me. And then as you hear the door in front kind of crack open, you see once again Seelin McGurmick.
Sorry to keep disturbing you, but we seem to have cracked the case wide open. Obi, or Heb, do you mind telling your father what's been going on?
I don't want to do that, actually.
Can you remind me what the wording of the suggestion was again?
I asked him to tell me
everything or something.
yeah, everything that weird that is happening on the farm.
Maybe tell him to tell you to tell in front of his father.
Have we just talked about this, dear? You told us that you and Obi have been the ones stealing the soap, correct?
That is what I told you earlier. Fuck. He's like fighting back. Seelan just like moves forward. All right, now. It's been about enough of this madness here. Just come on in. I gotta figure this out.
I look at the rest of the group. Do you want to go grab Matilda? We should have this group discussion. Where's Obi as well? He shouldn't be here.
Obi was trying to grab onto some soap while I distracted you in the corner.
Oh, you didn't mention that before, dear. That would have been nice. Do you think he's in the shed with Matilda?
I mean, she hasn't said anything. If he was grabbing soap, it should have made a lot of noise.
Yeah, I'll go grab her.
Okay.
Vincent will step in with the other two.
I'll stay with Vincent.
Okay. I will have Vincent or Killian roll D20 for Spotlight, and Jojo, you can also roll D20 for Spotlight. Okay, so Jojo's group, meaning Jojo, as you move over in the darkness, the world of light from the flickering torches at the entrance to the farm dissipates, and the world of gray nothingness becomes out to you. This just like pale static out as far as the eye can see. And as you enter into the small storehouse, there is nothing to be seen, for several sacks that have been moved out of the way and several more that are currently missing.
Does it, there's some missing. Does anything else look weird? Can I
Roll perception.
look for extra water? Is there more water than normal?
Can I insight check the soap?
Yeah, I want to insight check. What do you know?
What are
Where's
you
the
telling me?
Do I believe the soap?
You don't. Never believe so. That's just a
It's
Never.
life
lavender
rule.
Is it
soap, though.
perception?
It smells nice.
Perception, yeah. 7. What you gain from that, first thing, as you enter in, it is super warm in here. Like before, there was a bit of an arid nature to this room, and it was very moist. You can smell a little bit of that rot over the overpowering lavender. But as you enter in, it's almost like you've walked into a steam room.
It's not a good environment to keep soap in. Okay, yeah, she'll head back, and go, talk to the others.
Meanwhile, as Jojo walked in and through to the storehouse, you find yourselves on the inside of the home as Seelan McGurmick sits down his son at the table. He reaches underneath the table and pulls out that rifle and places it down on top, and just sits there staring at his son, who just shores up. Like, now you gonna tell me what's going on? Ollie, hey, get in here! Don't be hiding in my other room. Come in here, hot blood.
I'm right here.
Not you. You cold, far as I can tell. Cold as the day God's made you.
Can I
Sits there and
insight
stares
check
at
that remark? What does he mean?
Go ahead and roll insight.
Is hot blood
I,
really
as a player,
blur?
have no idea what it means.
Be racist to
20.
goblins.
Maybe
20?
it means I'm cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out.
Your insight check, Vincent. Yeah, to call a tiefling hot blood it's not necessarily a slur. It's just like, it's a phrase a lot of people take to it, a lot of people don't.
I get
Typically, like, you can call each other friends that as like a nickname, but he's basically being like, I'm being a little bit disrespectful and friendly. As he
Vincent
sits.
just smiles at that, and then he'll So he's just, the cold remark was just saying you're not a tiefling.
Right.
Yeah, you mean me? He's like, no, not you. As you all come in, Heb sits down, and he's just like, Father, you know, I did not mean. He's like, no, I don't want to hear nothing from you. I've already heard enough. You lot, tell me what's going on.
Your son apparently has a female familiar girlfriend, perhaps, that he's been giving the soap to.
You've been familiar with a girl, that true? He's like, I am not entirely certain that's what he meant, Father. There's a woman in the lake. Like, I ain't gonna be hearing no crazy talk about monsters in the forest. That we heard enough about that. If God's wandering around outside, I don't want you going in that place ever again. You understand me? Now you lot. And he grabs onto the rifle and he just like places it down next to him, holding onto it like a cane as he slowly lifts himself up. It's just like, hey, monsters in the forest, yeah? We're gonna go kill them. I take care of all this, don't it? You see, Heb's just like, no, we're not going to do that. There's nothing wrong with Quaria. Oh, you gave the monsters a name too, did you? You think that's gonna be so? You think they care about you, boy? They want to eat your face. I know I've seen enough faces taken off in my time to know you ain't no. Stands and slowly begins to move towards the door.
We can always go see what's going on. Maybe there's been some confusion.
You got weapons?
Vincent just looks down at his loot. Oh, dear.
Good. Goes over here, up towards the stairs, and he's like, hey, Lucira, we're going out for a bit. We're going to go kill some monsters. You hear nothing from the upstairs, just like faint shuffling. All right, come on, let's get out of here.
Hey,
What the fuck? Pulls the rifle up towards you.
he just like moves it to the side, moves the barrel off. Yeah, Matilda and Obi aren't in the shed, and there's some bags of soap missing.
You fucking come at me and edge of my torchlight like that again, you're likely to wind up with holes in you.
Heb, do you know where Obi would have gone? I'm wondering if Matilda went with him.
Oh, if there's bags of soap missing, they might have just brought it to the woods.
Would Matilda really just help him bring these into the woods, do you think?
I mean, we don't know her though. Yeah, it's hard to
Guess
say.
not.
As Obi moves through, you ask him this, Vincent. You're just like, so basically like, where is this? He moves
Direction.
past you. Yeah, he moves past you and says, I'll lead you there. But you see, as he glances towards the back of his father, who's now currently like yelling at Jojo indiscriminately in the background, as he says, yes, I'll lead you there, he just deflects, looks away, and attempts to pull away from this situation. As Sealan closes the door, it doesn't seem like he's going to lead you towards Quaria so long as his father is with you.
That's what like my passive insight is giving me.
Yes, he rolled a terrible deception.
I'll look towards the father and just be like, well, you wouldn't want to leave your wife and your other kids here by themselves.
Oh, she's fine. She takes care of the young one.
What if the monsters come here? We can take care of it. This is what you're hiring us for.
You said the monsters in the lake. How many monsters there are now?
I don't know, dear. We just got here.
Roll persuasion.
Okay. $15.
He moves in, opens up the doorway, goes in one more time, and is like, Lystera, lock the doors! If you need anything, if you hear anything outside, get into the cellar. Closes the door. Alright, it should be fine. House is plenty fortified, lots of people trying to steal my recipe. And fucking that's the least of it. You ain't getting my soap no how. As he begins to move.
Is that why your shed is so fortified?
I'll look over.
A lot of
towards
gold
him.
in there. Damn.
He stops. Fuck you talking about?
The room in the shed, it's like completely blocked by metal, and it's got like magic items and gold and shit in there.
What?
Can I insight check? Does this guy actually not know?
Roll insight. 17. He seems genuinely flabbergasted by this statement. It's like nothing but soap in the back room.
Okay, well, I can show you later, but
Yeah, let's go find my son.
I think we should move this along. And I turn towards Heb. Heb, I'm sorry to have to do this, but we really need your guidance in this. Would you be willing to work with us?
I'm not going to lead my father to her.
I'll lean in and just be like, we can see what happens when we get there. We'll try to calm the situation if it gets too out of hand.
My father is never going to trust a monster. And he looks down towards Killian and says, I don't even know don't even know why he hasn't said anything towards you. He's had some very difficult times in the dungeon when he was an adventurer. He hates monsters.
He was a diver?
He was. He made enough money to retire and opened this.
Well,
Retired very young, actually. It's impressive. My father's an amazing entrepreneur. Don't want to hear any of you say otherwise. It doesn't look like you're going to say otherwise. So.
He shouts that, like, loudly.
Yeah.
With my suggestion of tell us the truth about the farm, does it seem like the truth of the directions isn't going to be something that covers?
No, that's a valid point. Let me see here.
Because Vincent's still concentrating.
You basically, you didn't even specify farm when you said it. I believe your wording was, tell us everything that's going on here, which that would cover that, as he's sitting here being like, I can't take you to where it is. That seems like the action of actually walking you there is something he's not willing to do. But you do infer you could literally be like, then give us the directions right now.
Mm-hmm. Vincent's just like, well, if you want to stay here with your dear mummy, then please just give us the directions.
Actually, Heb, are there spooky trees that look like they have hands like this? Is that near there?
The trees they look as though they have human faces, but there were never any hands or anything of the like.
Okay.
Is that something you saw in the forest, Killian?
Yeah, Jojo and I, we took a long walk and we got to that point, but we couldn't get through the trees. Do you think if we took a bag of soap, would it work?
Or was there sort of some secret entrance? And I turned out towards Heb.
I have pathways through the forest that Obi and I had built. We've shrouded them in a little bit of foliage. You see he's just struggling with every word that he speaks, as though it's just not within his power to hold back, and he's desperately trying. He says, we've always had soap when we went there. The very first time we had ever approached the tree seemed more normal than they do now.
Well, let's go then. I think we can use this information. You guys have already been in that direction, so... Jojo, go grab some soap, just in case.
Okay.
Also, previously, when you had asked for directions, he basically looks towards you and with the same struggle says, travel down until you find the old river. It's more of a creek now. 2 rivers used to feed into it. Travel west until you hit the dry river and follow it up into the forest. Break off early and you will find a wooden fence. And then that is the beginning of our secret trail. Please, don't let them hurt Quaria.
Is she dangerous?
She can be. Well, she's surrounded by creatures as well. She keeps them as pets. They've always been good to us.
I'll lean down, just put my hand on her shoulder. We'll do what we can. That's all I can promise. But no, and I'll point towards myself and Killian, we don't judge people purely based on the fact that they came from the dungeon. So don't worry about that.
I don't know where she came from, but she belongs here now. Then he makes his way into the house and closes the door behind him.
Cool.
Meanwhile, Steelan's like, hurry the fuck up! What do you think you do? You stealing my soap? Was it you all along? He just begins to run across.
I know.
Heb said that we will need some soap to get through the monster's lair. They might restrict us.
That's fine, so long as the reward for this is soap. So you don't need to be taking none if you want it, right? Good soap, too. Some of the best.
I'm assuming we start to head on our way.
Yeah, as you guys begin to circle around the house, you continue until you reach the north side. Seelan waiting off to the side through your conversation with his son. You begin to move into the forest. in the sparse light given off by this torchlight, go ahead and make a survival check with advantage for Heb's previous guidance.
In group survival?
You guys can choose to do group survival, or you can dictate one person to take this check. Your choice.
Who seems like they know how to get around?
Not survival.
My survival is 0.
Depends on the
Okay.
context.
Vincent's been through. He's grew up here. He was here before the tower even came. He'll roll if you guys don't mind. So I get advantage.
You do. Oof.
Ooh, beautiful.
22.
You love to see it.
You love to see it. As you all begin to move through the forest, unhindered by the darkness and the just pale gray that surrounds you out to the range of your dark vision, Seelan moving about as fast as he can. You see, snap his heels a few times, and then his body kind of perks up as he begins to move at this rapid pace. But that's just in short bursts for a very brief amount of time before eventually he's just hobbling his way through the forest as best he can. With your 22 survival check, that negates the amount of time that this elderly man takes to move through the forest. And as you all continue in, several minutes pass between when Matilda had gone into the area and when you guys had begun your trek.
I would like to do one thing while we're traveling.
For sure.
When I feel like we're getting near, past the weird trees, I'm going to be casting message every minute or so. See if I can pick up on Matilda. So she's with 120 feet and I'm facing in the right direction, basically.
Okay. As you all continue to move, I will actually make y'all invisible here for a moment. Now it looks like Killian is missing from this encounter.
Oh no.
Killian?
As bye.
Nah, you're totally not by. You still exist. You are still hello.
Damn.
Not to attempt to dictate your existence, your current existence orientation, but you are not by right now. You are hello. As you enter in, Matilda, I don't know why Heb is here. Get rid of you. You had previously been grappled by this creature, and as the silence in the forest continues to wail away, you are moved another 5 feet in towards the lake, and then another 5 feet, and another 5 feet, until eventually you are pulled up into the rickety wooden bridge, and you can see from as it grapples onto you, the just luminescent body of faint speckles of gold that are flecked through in this almost spiraling pattern down the length of this eel, as it is just slipping along the ground, coating it with slime and pulling you in towards the lake. What do you do?
I do want to say I really would love there to have been a few smash cuts when the old man was like, "We're gonna shoot it with the shotgun. The monsters are terrible," and then Matilda's just being dragged along into the woods. We're gonna. Those are bad, and then Matilda's still getting dragged along. But Matilda kind of cocks her head while she's being dragged, and she says, "You're very pretty, and I really think that if I hurt you, I think that will offend lake person. And are my arms I can't do somatic. Is it somatic? What are the ones where you have to use your hands?
Somatic, yeah.
You're restrained right now, but your arms are free. Your hands are movable. Basically, the only time that I really say that you are restrained and you can't move your hands is if there are restraints specifically designed for that, like hand shackles, or wooden clamps that hold your wrists together. Because basically, you can still gesture, but you need specific range of motion for some spells. You are currently good.
I don't know how smart you are, and I really don't want to hurt you, but can you let me go, please? I ask first before I go to
You have basically, in the time that this thing is currently pulling you towards the water, you have time for one action. If you are attempting to persuade this creature, that would be the action you take. That is your choice.
No. She's gonna cast a Mind Sliver on the creature.
Okay. Here, actually, let me go ahead and bring this guy up here.
Yeah, I need a person to hit, please.
I am also.
Diplomacy was never an option.
No, not for Matilda.
Oh,
I was like,
Weird eel.
what would Matilda do? Would she persuade it or would she attack it? Self-preservation. I'm like, I'm not playing a paladin anymore. I can't. I can't talk to things.
Are you able to see the creature?
I'm going to refresh. Because I do not. But. Dot, dot.
You begin to perform the components of this spell as your voice echoes out loud with the reverberation of the weave, and you look at the creature that is currently holding on to you and using its tail basically to drag you along. You begin to impart this just spike of mental energy into its head. And let's see what happens. Do you have visibility now? I can drag you
No.
again if you want. No? Okay, I'll
Yes.
pull you in one moment. Is that better?
No, it says I don't have any tokens in this scene, but if you just want to cast mines, you can do it. Can you do it for me?
Oh, actually, here, I think this might be the problem. Let me go ahead and grab you one more time.
Oh, there I am.
Huzzah! Also, you have a vision because of
Oh
your
yeah, it's
light, the
nighttime. You can't
celestial
see
light.
anything.
She has light cast on her currently. She had that
Ew.
before it came.
I can't select it.
Is it
Alt,
pause?
alt left click.
Oh, alt left. Sorry. What? You mean I play D&D?
I don't know the last time I played D&D in person and heard someone say, you just gotta alt left click. Man, my
All right.
dice is rolling, but there are no numbers. Did you alt roll? I didn't.
Oh, did it?
Normal. Okay, hold on.
Ooh, 1 second.
What is your spell save DC?
Oh, I believe it's 13.
As the creature pulls itself in, you spike it with this intense blast of energy, and as the damage begins to just seethe through its body, you see it just begin to jerk back and forth aggressively, opens its mouth, and all you hear is this like sound that echoes out, almost like a faint siren, and then the creature continues to pull you in. You see the top of the water begin to dance as creatures begin to pull up and down, just splashes flying around in the soap bubbles, like popping aggressively with this just thick layer of soap scum.
Well,
slowly-
Matilda's dying.
You are pulled
Uh-oh.
into the water.
I don't have any knees. Where am I supposed to hit them?
Pom Pom, you did not help me with this.
I didn't
Plan
hesitate
for
for this.
giant eels.
And as the creature drags you down into the center of the lake, you find yourself just below the surface, restrained by the creature as it continues to drag you down. You begin to hold your breath as the eel begins to, with much more ferocity and speed, move down. You find yourself surrounded on various different sides by these small fish. As they begin to move around you, you see them move up and stop, same that golden fleck luminescence through their body, and then these just vicious chomping teeth just looking at you, but slowly they move around you, almost in this just slow pattern. One moves in, attempts to take a nip.
Matilda doesn't have like a ton of con, right? She can't hold her breath for too long.
At this point, as the creature moves in to attack you, you will roll initiative.
Oh,
Yeah,
Should we
we
roll
see a
as well,
note.
or-
I'm not dead. I've just gone for a swim.
Yeah.
Look over at the water, just a floating corpse.
You are currently
Oh, yeah, the
restrained.
note.
You are being held by this creature. The Quippers are around you. And as we begin initiative.
I don't think I got to write that note because it got me
Oh
beforehand.
yeah, no, she didn't.
That's true. Yeah.
It's still funny to think of that. Like,
Gone fishing.
The sea eel continues to pull you downwards and makes it essentially to here. As the fish begin to move towards you, however, Matilda, it is your turn.
Okay. not letting me go?
No, it is currently grappling you.
Alrighty. Sorry, little eel baby. I don't want to, but I'm going to Eldritch Blast you. It.
You have disadvantage in melee range.
Rude.
Also for being restrained too,
Yeah.
right?
Disadvantage will never stack though.
Yeah,
Double disadvantage. Not bad.
pretty good.
That's good. With disadvantage and 18 to hit, go ahead and roll damage.
Alrighty.
Agonizingly. Oh.
You just pull that energy into yourself and boom, burst aggressively towards the creature. 8 damage.
E.
Not 730 damage, like I almost did.
Does it add the extra?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a +4 to it. You rolled a
Okay.
4.
Cool.
And as the energy crackles just from your body, how does your Eldritch Blast look? Do you launch it from your hands or does it erupt from you?
I like to think that it launches from my hands because that's where she got her tattoos, was on her hands, and it like launches and it's like kind of like a bright. It's white, but it kind of looks like an oil slicky sheen where it has like a little bit of that kind of like rainbow essence to it. And then once it goes in and it kind of like hits, you swear you see little feathers come off of it, but it's just like it's just like a trick of the eye.
As you are being pulled down by this creature, you blast it aggressively, and you can feel that grip weaken. You see actually a small chunk of its body just become beset with necrosis and dries up, begins to just fleck in on itself, and just like rotting fish. That blood begins to fly out, congealed and just black and brackish, and these fish look on towards you in this aggression, and as they all chomp their teeth down, begin to move in. Anything with the rest of your turn?
What I'll do is I can't really do anything at the moment, so no. Because I already used my action, so no.
These fish all begin to move in towards you.
Yikes! Uh-oh.
As they begin to encircle and surround you. Five of them make bite attacks towards you, and five of them hit. You take 5 points of damage.
Jinkies!
As the creatures just begin to nip piece by piece towards your body, and just pulling away little bits, the blood begins to slowly encircle around you. And at the end of their turns, in the distance, from the light that you are emitting, you can also see this just large and very royal-looking seahorse in a size that is significantly larger than any seahorse should ever grow, to the point where it is mountable. And as it looks over towards and sees the blood pooling, it just goes and lets out this burst of water towards you that dissipates right before it reaches the cluster of creatures. And in the meantime...
What was that? So rude!
Just
the rest
sniffs
of
at
the
you.
party goes as you all find yourselves in the forest. Seelan moving through. Heb is not here. You reach the edge where the trees had sewn themselves together previously, Killian. And as you begin to approach the trees once again, the fingers just move away. The faces of the trees just become... You hear that hollow, like... As the trees move back out of place, looking away from you now, and the pathway opens.
Is this...
That's different. I guess it's letting us in now, but
Georgia's gonna go forward.
Wasn't there like a secret route that they took?
This is basically like an hour later. With the survival check that you had taken previously, this is where it has led you.
we took the secret path.
Yes. The little less than an hour, it took about 40 to 45 minutes of getting through, whereas it took you, Killian, about an hour and 10 minutes before, saving about 20 minutes off the time. And
Gotcha.
through Vincent's just expert movement of the forest and the light that is given out, Oh, 22, man. That's expert if I ever seen it. You find yourselves here.
He doesn't really look like a woodsman, but he's good.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, Jojo's gonna go in front of everyone.
Here, let me change to free movement for you guys. Sealan begins to move forward. This place, lots of birds. I don't see many monsters out. Are you guys, can you see currently?
No, I'm
Do
still
you
on the
have vision?
farm map.
All right, let me bring
On
you
the
guys
farm.
here.
There we go.
And do you have vision of your characters at current?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're traveling upwards, like this direction?
Yeah, as you look around, you see the trees around you.
Weird.
Me.
The stream screen doesn't see anything. There
I'll
we go.
bring you guys in again.
2 JoJos.
Give me a hot second. I think if I load you guys in and it's not there, then the stream screen does not view it perfectly. And now you see the forest.
Age you dropped in Matilda, not Vincent.
Oh, and Matilda's with you. What a coincidence.
Cool. Okay.
Vincent, at this point, you can still concentrate on your suggestion if you want.
Mhm.
Okay.
No
Sealan
reason
moves,
not to.
moves in, rifle in hand, and begins to look around.
I think Jojo's gonna yell out, Matilda! Matilda!
And Sealan, isn't it possible that this monster might not be dangerous? If your sons have been interacting with it for this long and they haven't been harmed.
Looks back at you and says, "Oh no, I'd ask you if you've ever been to the dungeon, but that'd be a stupid question, wouldn't it? You know how it be. You know what it is. It may be something like you who can think and can walk around, talk language. For the most part, that ain't the case.
Do you have any reason to believe it's from the dungeon? Could be native. I've lived here quite a long time. There were still spooky things back before the tower came.
I wouldn't really know. I'm not as old as you, like with your long lives and such." He begins to move forward. No much.
Can I insight check that? I don't think he knows anything about tieflings.
Good, roll insight. As he approaches, he lifts up the torch that he's holding, and or the lantern that he's holding, and you can spot just this massive dam of fallen trees. And he's like, "What the?" 20. He knows a little bit about tieflings, considering he had previously spoken like just a specific tiefling-related like welcome, but it doesn't seem like he knows a lot.
Okay, this guy has very specific things he keeps in
He
mind.
slept with a couple tieflings in his youth, so he knows like the lingo.
Maybe.
Vincent's gonna do what he was doing before and just kind of cast message around, and then so he's not shouting, and in the message it's just gonna be like, "Matilda, if you hear this, and say something. Where are you?"
Yeah, you do need to pick a direction when you cast message. What direction do you choose?
Let's just do like forward. Like he'll do like one in front of him, and then he'll do like one to the side, and then one to the side.
I'll say this. As you are casting message, 120 feet, you say? Go ahead and roll a fate dice, straight d20. Sealan begins to approach the water and looks down, like raises the torch and just begins to flicker it over. And he's like, "It's my soap. This is where it's been. Oh, what did they do to you? You're all melted. This is disgusting." And he like begins to cover it. "It just smells like lavender. There's too much soap. You don't want to use 50 bars in a bath. This is madness." With your 14,
yeah,
you begin to point. You pull out that thin copper wire and you begin to speak your messages.
No, I'll strum on my lute when I cast
Okay. You begin to strum on those thin lute wires and you begin to cast your messages in various different directions, and your voice carries invisibly throughout the waves as the weave carries your message through the strands of it. And as you cast forward, nothing seems to happen. Cast off to the side, nothing seems to happen. You cast in towards the water. Matilda.
Oh, that suspense,
Yeah.
that anticipation. Very
So,
good.
just so you know, Adrian, the tricky thing about this is she still needs to speak what she wants to speak back to you.
I
don't know.
have an idea for that.
One moment. At current, with a 14, that is a favorable fate dice roll. However, the next round of combat will determine whether or not you hear this message.
Oh,
As we circle back around,
God, I'm done.
the quippers have taken solid chunks and bites. They have been moving in around you, and the grappling giant sea eel in front of you continues to hold firm, but has weakened its grip from this blast of deadly energy that you have unleashed upon it. As we find you now here, the sea eel continues to pull you as it moves as much as it can. You now find yourself next to that giant seahorse that regally puffs out its chest and begins to look at you. You see its fins just just belaying the brilliant stature of it. These tiny little fins just flitter aggressively to keep it in place. And as you are being pulled by the eel, continuing down towards the bottom, you begin to see more creatures. You actually see Quaria herself. As she looks at you and the light begins to encompass her, she rips back into the water, attempting to stay outside of your view.
We currently don't see anything on the shared screen. Just as a heads up.
Black.
Go ahead and do this.
I think it might be the light radius on Matilda. Or in the we were just in the wrong area.
It's attempting to keep all of you in the same range.
Oh, weird.
The eel moves out and about. Matilda, it is now your turn.
Yeah, it's keeps moving off, but it's fine. Tamara, can you see on the screen, or is it black?
I can. I can see clearly now. It's my turn.
That's the most important thing then.
Okay, so I would like it seems to just be dragging me towards her, right? But I'm also not going to be able to breathe soon, I'm assuming. So
As you are being dragged down towards the base of the water, you are currently holding your breath. What is your constitution modifier?
It is +1.
So you can hold your breath 2 whole minutes. As you cast spells with the spell that you'd previously cast, is there a somatic or verbal component in that?
That's a
verbal
good
specifically.
question.
So for
'Cause
Mind
I did Mind Sliver, and then I did Eldritch Blast. Sorry, I should have looked into that. I didn't even think about it.
I believe Mind Sliver, yeah, it was above water.
Yeah, it was
Mind
above.
Sliver
It's
was
just
above
the
water. That has a
Eldritch
verbal component. So Eldritch Blast,
I don't
is
think
verbal
Eldritch-
and somatic.
verbal and somatic. As you cast Eldritch Blast, in order to call out the verbal component and it echoes out through the water, you lose 1 minute of oxygen. So you have 1 minute remaining as you are being dragged down towards the base. When you hit 0, you will be suffocating.
Yes. I'm regretting not taking Misty Step when I wanted to, but fuck it. Okay. Don't want to kill it. I want to wriggle out, though. I'm gonna just try and wriggle out. That's what I'm gonna do.
Go ahead and make a contested athletics check. You can also roll acrobatics. Creature will make athletics.
Okay, so athletics
Or acrobatics, whatever you want.
Your
to use.
choice.
is better. No, athletic. Oh yeah, no, actually acrobatics. I was like, oh, athletics. Oh no, -1. No, thank you.
As you attempt to pull out, the eel holding firm on top of your body, you use that little bit of slime and a little bit of the blood from the quippers to rub against the body of the eel, and you slip out above. The eel turns around aggressively towards you and once again lets out this sound that just echoes forward, and you can now see the water reverberating with its calls.
Okay, so I'm free.
You are free. You are no longer restrained.
Okay.
How far down in the water are you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Go ahead and roll. Actually, you don't need to roll perception. From your current point of view with the light that you are emanating, you can see that there are pockets of water here. And there's a pocket of water over here. Or pockets of oxygen, sorry. There's pockets of water in this lake, you guys. Isn't that fun?
Matilda, being a smart person and a keen mind, which one looks like it would be the easiest to get to in the sense of like math?
If you used your action, it would be faster to get to the left one, but you cannot get there within this round. If you go to the right one, you can get further away from the creatures that you can see, but it will take a little bit longer. It's 15 feet further to go to the right.
I think assessing danger and distance, she'll go to the right, but I can only move 15 feet because I have limited movement because I'm underwater, right?
I forgot.
I don't know.
As you begin to move away, the eel who had previously been buffered by your attacks is going to attempt to take a chomp at you.
Yeah.
Has advantage to hit you at current.
Can you use healing light on yourself?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
As it takes a bite, like leans in, and these just vicious rows of fangs chomp down, you hear it once again. As the reverberations move through your body, it just begins to tear aggressively towards your back, and you take... That is... One moment. Make sure the math is good. There's 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay, I still have my bonus action.
Rips back and begins to tear out, the chunks of your back, just like pull and rake aggressively. The blood begins to pour out behind you.
I am going to do my Healy stuff.
Healing light or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Use feature. Healing light. Oh. They're like, you must select someone. Let me select me. Please me.
That seahorse looks like it could really use some the good book. Good holy book. You are currently holding your book as well. It is on you.
It's in my bag, yeah.
You take note that the book itself and the bag that you're holding all completely soaked. You have no idea what that means.
Yeah, I know. That's why I tried to take my stuff off, but I'm also kind of glad I didn't, because then I wouldn't be able to do anything right now. But all right, so I did that. I gained 4 hit points. 4 hit points. Okay, cool.
The light pours through your body. The feathers begin to flitter away. And as you are swimming aggressively towards the water and healing yourself, that light bursts out and you hear Vincent ping in the back of your head.
Oh, I hear him?
You hear Vincent's voice echo through the back of your head as though they were your own thoughts. Vincent, what is it that you said?
Here, please respond. Would that work, Adrian?
Your message needs to be spoken aloud, I believe.
It's 10.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
If she makes noises, like
I was like, I made a noise. It's still out loud. You can kind of tell what I'm saying.
I love it. Love it.
Yay! Smart Matilda.
I just hear like these grumbles, and I'm. Well, she's either enjoying a light snack or she's probably in trouble, guys.
Well, if you listen, could you not tell what I said? No.
Can I insight check what she said?
Here, give me the mumble one more time.
I was like, no.
Not the last
I
one.
maybe heard a help in there.
Yeah, roll perception. Yeah. You definitely heard help because we were all like, help is clear on that one.
Me roll perception?
Yes. With a nat 24. Matilda, what was it that you said in your mumble?
We have a problem. Help.
And you hear that clearly.
Yeah, he's used to people talking through like gags and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he knows.
It's like when you're not to begin to correlate that and dentists, but it's like when you're talking to your dentist and they're just like, oh yeah, no, good day, huh? That's great.
No. Vincent's an ethical dom. He knows how to look after his subs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He hears that. He knows exactly what she said. He'll just be like, well, we have a slight problem. I think Matilda's indisposed in it was like this direction, right? Or what direction?
It was in the right side when you had heard the mumbles coming through.
Oh, so from the water. I think she might be underwater.
Fuck.
Oh no! I swam right into fish. Fuck. Sorry, I
No,
didn't
the
notice
fish began
Oh.
to swim right into you.
Vincent's
This one could
gonna
not make it far enough.
walk over and like view the surface. Could we have seen any of the light or anything from her spells? Or
If Vincent says that she's in trouble and in the water, Jojo jumps in.
Okay, so you guys begin to move in. You dive in, Vincent. You begin to move forward. You cannot see the light. It is a little bit too deep, and everything below the surface of the water, you just see that thick layer of purple soap scum. But as you begin to move in, I will quickly do this because the Quippers encircle you, Matilda, and go to take a few more chomps. You take 2 damage as 2 of them manage to bite you, and then one actually takes a chomp towards you. You dodge, and it bites down on its own teeth, and you can see blood begin to pour out from its own mouth, and that one dies. As the teeth, these elongated teeth, tear through its own jaws, you see them pierce through the top and bottom of its face, and it just begins to float up towards the surface. Jojo,
Oh, poor little fish.
you move in, and as you dive, Vincent, you see Jojo hit the top of the water, dive through, and almost, it was uncomfortable. It's like diving through, you hit concrete for a second, and then like Oobleck, it just slowly let you slump through, and then a fish just bloop, pops up the top next to you with its teeth through the top and bottom of its head. Jojo, you dive in?
yeah, can I have said something
Yep.
as she's right and jump?
Mhm.
Try and get her out of there. We're gonna be at a disadvantage if we all go in.
Bloop. You are brought down underneath the water surface, and as that fish goes past you and perishes, you now find yourself here.
DM,
Go ahead
I
and
do have
roll initiative.
I do have a question, DM, but I just want to let you know I have one. I want to answer it now.
Okay.
Actually, maybe yeah. I'm wondering, does healing light have somatic components? Because I'm not seeing it anywhere.
No, it's an ability.
No.
It's
Okay,
not a
cool.
spell.
Because I wanted to be truthful if she had to open her mouth to do that.
No,
Somatic
gotcha.
scans.
Thank you very much.
Verbal, I think she meant, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
I got you. I got you. Jojo, what is your Constitution modifier?
Jojo's Constitution modifier is a 4.
I can live down here for ages, man.
It's like 5 straight minutes. I believe it's 1 plus con. Let me actually just
Yes,
check
it
that
is.
again. I'll check
Jojo's
that in
got
a minute.
gills.
Jojo, you run, you jump, you dive into the water. I add you to the initiative, and then you may now roll initiative.
Oh, I did roll already, and it was an 18 plus my initiative, which would have been a 19. If
19?
that's all right. Because I don't want to roll again because it was good.
Totally good. And Vincent, you're there. Let me go ahead and add you in as well, Killian and Seelan.
Initiative, right? I haven't rolled yet, right?
No,
No.
you're good.
You can roll if you want.
Jojo feels the blood of her oceanic raider ancestors through her body, and she breathes forever underwater.
I'm sitting here being like, is that like awesome narrative, or do you have like gills?
No. No,
Yeah.
she doesn't. It's just
Just flavor
her
text.
dad was like a oceanic raider.
Yeah, wondrous. The Quippers have gone. You hear faint murmurs, Matilda, coming from the south as the figures move in the darkness. And Jojo, you find yourself at the top of the initiative order. Looking down into the water, the purple haze everywhere. You also see trails of blood and clouds of blood just pouring out from various different areas in the water. Not enough to obscure your vision, but a visible pathway towards this direction where
Mhm.
Matilda has seemingly moved.
Okay, I can see, but I can also see the light, and I can figure out where the source of the light is.
As you breach down, you can also see the light pouring out from both sides, but you can tell that it's more on the right than the left.
Okay. She's going to dash. Oh wait, dashing is would just be 30 feet, right? Because I
Yeah.
can only move half movement.
It is difficult terrain in water unless you have a swim speed.
Am I clashing with a wall? That's 25. And then that's 30. And she's going to. Oh, she is going to rage. So let me roll that ragey. Rage, wild surge. Let's go. Oh, it's the tendrils.
Our favorite tendrils.
Oh, every single time. I really wanted that Misty Step one.
Within 30 feet of you?
Yeah, it's within 30 feet that I can see. I think I can see this one, and this one. I believe those are within 30 feet.
This is the only one within 30 feet of you. 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, yeah, no. Am I measuring with difficult terrain? Let me get
It
rid
might
of that.
be.
25, 30. The 3 of them that you can currently see are within 30 feet of you.
Okay,
As
great.
you begin to just dig into this rage inside you, those tendrils begin to appear out of inky darkness in the water.
The pressure valve that is the chaos magic, it just like bubbles. Like there's bubbles coming off of it. And Matilda, you just see these familiar black tendrils whip out towards these fish.
Then each of them makes a con save.
I will say
It
they
is
look familiar,
necrotic.
but at the same time, I don't know. Would I know that it's her?
You've seen these before.
I mean, you just saw them
We're
like
upside.
the other day.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Matilda does not have a good memory. These tendrils tear from you, fly in, and just spear all 3 of these fish, just splitting out at the last hit. All 3 of them just burst. You see that those golden flecks within the body slowly dissipate as the blood pours out from them. They are gone.
And Jojo gets 11 temporary hit points, and that's my turn.
Alrighty. The eel moves in and around. That's actually going to move through the seahorse here. Having seen that, it's actually going to circle towards you, Jojo. You see it rip to the other side and fly in here. Landing next to you, this eel slithers through the water with rapid speed and comes in towards you for a vicious bite, but does not manage to do anything quite yet. Vincent, you find yourself at the edge of the water, looking through. You see the bloop, 1 fish, and then bloop, 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 3 more just rise as Jojo dives into the water.
Where are they?
In the middle, right
It's
about
about
here.
here.
Just at the edge of where Sealand's light is extending.
Okay. Vincent's definitely not going to jump into the water. Would be at an extreme disadvantage down there. He's going to just kind of like assess the situation. Does he see anything moving along the surface, or just the bubbles from where Jojo jumped in?
Roll perception.
Would this use my action?
This one would, to investigate the area, basically.
Then I will not do that. I'm going to cast message down towards where I assume Jojo and Matilda are, and just be like, here, get her out of there. And I'm going to inspire Jojo, because they just need to be someone that can hear me within 60 feet.
That's a good use of message.
Interesting. That is cool.
I can't target her, but if I could.
That's totally cool. I can target her for you.
That's kind of cool because you don't have to strum. You could croon through your message, like sing her a little ditty.
And you cast a bardic inspiration, yays.
Mhm.
Consume resource. A d6. As you begin to let's fly that strum, you see Jojo, you hear this voice in your head and you get emboldened.
I feel so bold.
I feel emboldened. As you anything else?
Yeah, Vincent's going to take a step back. He's worried about being pulled in by whatever creatures and monsters exist here. And he's just going to wait, essentially here.
Ooh, I like this music.
Vincent, you begin to back up. Killian, you're up. You see the creatures begin to rise through the water. Vincent begins to strum on his instrument, and you find yourself next to Sealand, who's just like pointing his gun towards the water surface. Oh, come on, come up here, you fucker. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm not gonna tell you that.
What creatures am I seeing? You
At
said
current, you see
coming out of the
these fish. 3 of them have just impalement marks through them with this black ichor, and one of which has impaled its own head with these needle-like teeth.
water? Okay. So I'm gonna pull out my tools from my belt. I'm going to infuse one of them with magical energy so that it has a mirror-like reflection. And then that reflection is going to like cascade onto me as I cast Sanctuary on myself as a bonus action.
Such a good spell.
How do I need to do this?
You can select or target yourself with Alt left click, and then when you cast, it should apply the Sanctuary condition.
Is that level 1? Alright. It has a little
Nice.
close. Alright, and then I'm going to use my action to... Can I take the dash action while I'm not in difficult terrain and it will still apply?
I believe Sanctuary is an action.
It's a
No,
bonus
it's a
action.
bonus action.
No,
Sanctuary?
bonus action.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what was the question again, sorry? Dash action?
Can I use my action while I'm not in difficult terrain to dash, which would then give me more move speed so that I can use it in difficult terrain?
Difficult terrain doesn't actually decrease your movement speed. It just takes 2 feet for every 1 foot of movement. So you
Right.
can dash in or out of the water, but it'll equal the same movement amount.
Okay, that's
Your speed is 30, so it'll give you a total of 60 for this round.
okay. Great. Then yeah, I will just dive on in.
I gotta do a run jump to try and get.
That's what I'm hoping to do. Yeah, I'm not diving. I'm just like, because I saw the surface of the water was like super, I guess, tenuous. Like,
Yeah, it's like a foam.
yeah. I'm just gonna land in it and just like let myself sink into it, and then start going.
Don't bruise your tailbone.
Yeah. Do I need to roll athletics, or do I just go the 8 feet for my strength score because I did a running jump?
Because
then-
you're diving, or you're
Yeah.
running full speed. If you move 10 feet before the jump, you can jump your entire strength score. So
Yeah.
that would make you... That would basically, at current, I'm totally fine with it. You run, you dive off the edge. It's actually a little over 10 feet to get there, so you kind of skirt along the side of the cliff a little bit. Go ahead and roll athletics, and as you hit the water itself, you slowly begin to sink in underneath the soap. 10. Yeah, you're like skirting down, kind of doing a little bit of a run, and as you hit the edge, slowly you sink down until your vision becomes that of the underwater. You hold your breath, reach the surface, and now looking around, you can see this eel that is viciously swimming towards Jojo for a chomp.
So I spent like 25 of my movement. So I guess I essentially have 15 feet of movement in difficult terrain left, right?
Yes.
More or less. Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna kind of slowly swim my way this way. And that's the end of my turn. That's my action, movement, and bonus.
Yeah, you begin to swim through the water down, and you find this water strange. Moving through it, it almost feels nostalgic in a way. And
Okay.
it doesn't make... You don't know why. You're not entirely certain why. As we circle around, Matilda, you are currently running from these creatures. However, let's take our first break here. So we will come back at 1:30, and we'll see all of you in a moment.
Let's kill these fishes, but after a break.
They'll be swimming with the fishes.
Oh.
Hey, I don't know that that's a threat for fish.
Sleeping with the fishes. I don't know what to say.
These fishes will be sleeping for sure.
These fishes will be sleeping with the fishes.
I'll give you some concrete fishes.
Okay.
Everyone
Bye.
get out. Everyone get out.
Everyone leave. We're done. And we jump back in. Killian, having just finished your turn, you had moved in, and you are now glowing with this air of please don't hit me. Please don't hurt me. I'm so happy. Matilda, you circle around. You've just seen 3 creatures get skewered by familiar black tentacles, and as you're moving, you can just barely see the edge of Jojo outside of your radius of light. And it is now your turn. What do you do?
Could you on the screen show me where the with a mark where the air pocket is, so I could do a little bit of math to determine my so right there?
As you had seen it before, actually the earliest you could get to an air pocket is this space right here. Because the previous one had rocks kind of digging into it.
So I am currently moving at half speed, correct?
Mhm.
So if I dashed, I'd move 30 feet?
30 total.
Okay. So even though disengage probably would be safer, Matilda's assuming that these creatures can probably get to her regardless, so she's gonna risk the opportunity attack from the one batch of quippers, I believe, and she's gonna make a dash. 5. So they take their opportunity attack because they moved out of the space.
They are absolutely going to bite.
No.
13 to hit. As it runs in, it takes a chomp out of your leg as you manage to leave its range. You take 1 point of damage.
Oh wow, ow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I am going to heal myself again with the healing light for my bonus action. Please. 5, cool.
You can do more than 1d6, right?
Yeah.
You can do up to your charisma modifier.
But I like to parse it out, because sometimes you get too zealous and you dump it, and then you could have really used like one little use of it, so I like to be a little more economical. 5 and okay, and then I move here for 30 feet of movement.
As you're moving in, you see the water surface just above you, but you have not breached the surface yet.
No.
You are just barely like inches from breath as the burning begins to set in your chest. And as you rush forward, Seelan, on the top of the water, you see him, Vincent, who's just pointing down at the water and is like, "Where's my boy? My boy down there?" Looks at you, Vincent, as though you have the answer to that question.
I can try and search for him, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you do that. He moves up, it kind of like scurries over to the edge, pulls out his gun, and just like knocks it back and points it down. It's like, as soon as something shows its face, won't have one no more.
Just be careful you don't shoot it at your son.
Yeah, it's good advice, good advice, good advice, good advice, good advice. You can see he's just incredibly nervous. Meanwhile, the little fishies do to dance. These two
They dance, and they dance.
move in and attempt to continue to take chomps towards you. You can see that as they move, following this just trail of blood, they move with this viciousness within all of their movements. And as they skirt up towards the edge of you, they take these nips, one attempting to grab onto your back. Critical hit, you take 2 points of damage.
Oh,
As it
owie.
bites into the back of your back and just attempts to move aggressively like a alligator trying to pull chunks off of you. It says 1 damage, but it did not include the crit on that one.
That's okay. I'll add the 2. I trust you, Adrian.
Yay! Meanwhile,
Did
I
both of
need-
them hit, or just the one group?
only
Is
the
there-
one managed to hit. The other
Okay,
one,
okay.
the other one did not manage to get that good chomp in on it. I need Jojo. I need you to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh, sorry, I did an ability check. Constitution.
That was a saving throw.
Oh, was it? Oh, could I add my Bardic Inspiration to that?
Absolutely.
Bardic Inspiration is a D6.
Yep.
Mhm.
So that
13?
is could you remove that Bardic Inspiration for me?
Yipper. As you look down, and in the distance beyond your visible range, I believe, yes, you just see this jet of water flying up towards you. And as you think on Vincent's words and that last little push, you barely succeed to get out of the way as this blast of water
Nice.
boom, slams against this large like koosh ball that is above you, and it just squishes in for a brief moment from the impact before reinflating.
Excuse me, did you call this thing a koosh ball?
A koosh ball. That's a thing.
I've never heard of that.
No?
Yeah, there is
It's the
such
little
thing as a koosh
squishies.
ball.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a-
cool.
Definitely a thing.
You managed to dodge out of the way as the blast slams into the wall. You ascertain if that would have hit you, you would have been probably out of the water again from the sheer force, but you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as you are caught up in the aftercurrent of this
9
strange
divided by
blast.
2 is 4.
Indeed. You also hear the faintest bit of this unearthly singing that is absolutely beautiful coming from the south of you. And as it begins to just echo out through the water, Matilda, Jojo, actually just Matilda and Jojo right now, Killian, you can only hear the faintest little edge of the singing reverberating through the water. I need you both to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh,
Come on, barbarian.
Oh, come on, Tilly.
Oh, hello.
18, nice.
18 is good.
With saving throw. Normal?
Yes, please.
Oh,
Natural
hey!
20 for a 23.
Hey.
Not that good of
Beautiful.
singing.
The both of you hear this singing, and it's trash.
You've been spending way too much time around Vincent.
Yes, I agree.
America's
very
Next
much
Top
so.
Garbage. Here, let's see.
Oh.
Ruined you for the rest of
Damn.
You begin to picture the sight of this just gorgeous woman on the other side of this voice. And as the flowing robes begin to look towards you and the voice hits your ears, you take a deep breath and you drown. I'm just kidding. You look down towards this creature and you're just like, you're not all that. You know, you could be so much more. So much
You're
so
not
much more different.
special.
You're flowing. Ow. Don't say actual mean things.
Matilda's fairly asexual, so she's like, what the fuck? No.
Yeah, no doubt. You hear the faint singing dissipate, and can any of you do a thing that you don't know currently know?
Okay.
The giant seahorse begins to move in, and it looks towards Matilda, it looks towards Jojo, and it begins to flitter itself up with these tiny little hands, and just begins to spin. As you see the water around it begin to move, it
Oh my god, I love this Pokemon.
yeah, I know, right? It bursts to the north. Jojo, I need you to go ahead. Actually, it is an attack roll. Is it
AC
con-
90% accuracy.
Oh yeah, 15. I took a buckler, didn't I?
I thought you said 50. I was like,
Nope.
good lord. As it spins, it begins to gyrate, pulling this water behind it, and uses that funnel to poof, burst forward towards you. You manage to. So in general, if a thing misses Jojo, do you feel like Jojo like tanks it, dodges it, deflects it,
Oh, she tanks it.
tanks it, slams into you with your arms crossed, and as it pulls back and looks at you with this look of just like, very well done. The seahorse just sits there flittering its arms in a knightly fashion. Meanwhile,
I know no one knows who Gerlad is, but like that sounded very much like Seahorse Gerlad.
Does this thing seem intelligent? Like,
these creatures have been moving with more grace than you would have expected from something like this. And meanwhile, Jojo, it is now your turn.
if I wanted to make like an intimidation, persuasion, or some check like that, to speak on my turn, would it take a minute of oxygen?
To speak, I would say yes, equivalently, because like somatic or verbal components are also quite short. So if you speak, it would take that bit of oxygen.
This seahorse that just blocked my way, Jojo's gonna like try and maintain the amount of oxygen she has, but say to it, just give us the girl and we'll leave.
As it looks towards you, it cocks its head slightly with a failure to understand your words. You can see the confusion in its seahorse face.
Movement, I cannot move through an enemy's space, huh?
You cannot. You are currently blocked.
Okay. I think that was her action. The bonus action, nothing. She didn't attack. She took some damage. I think she's gonna try and, because she's not gonna damage anything on this turn, she's gonna provoke them to attack her by moving back a bit and try and get them to the surface. Oh wait, I can only move 15 feet. I'm
Just
hitting a
swim up 15
wall.
feet.
Apparently I can't move past this
I
thing.
can move you over there.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Just right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you begin to move, the two of them do take attacks of opportunity against you. The seahorse once again begins to spin and attempts to slam you in the back with its tail, but you manage to drown out any force of that. And as the eel moves in to bite onto you, it clamps down and manages to grab a solid chunk of your side. You take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, piercing damage.
11 piercing, halved to 5.
11 piercing, halved to 5. And
Okay.
I'm sorry, actually, I misread the damage roll of the second one for a attack roll. You do get hit by the seahorse's tail, and as it rears into your back, that's when the eel manages to chomp. That is another 7, halved to 3 bludgeoning damage.
I am now out of temporary hit points.
Now I'm fighting. And is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right. What did you do with your main action?
Intimidate.
Intimidation. Perfect. Right.
yeah.
Thank you. This eel, having seen you move towards the surface, moves over towards Killian and takes a bite.
Sanctuary.
It has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Certainly does.
DC 13.
It's a natural 19 plus 0.
Oof.
Ooh.
To get that bite on. As it leans in towards you, you see this moment of hesitation, and then it goes for that chomp back as you... so if an attack misses you, do you avoid, do you deflect, or do you tank?
I think I tank it, but instead of me like forcefully tanking it, it's just like my armor saving me.
It comes for that chomp down on you, and then just clangs into that solid bit of metal that you have, and as it rakes back in an attempt to grab you, you see it just move in this rhythmic pattern. It is going to then attempt to circle around the rest of its movement. You can get an attack of opportunity if you wish.
Do not wish.
All right. Vincent. As you don't attack it, it stops at the end of its movement and looks back towards you for a second before focusing its attention on Matilda. And now, Vincent. At the edge of the water, you see Sealand still standing there, and he's like, I can't shoot nothing.
Vincent will walk up to the edge of the water. Well, actually, everyone kind of this is the main area they kind of dove into, so he'll actually move this way. Sorry, I'll do my that way. And he's gonna look in the water. Can he see silhouettes, or is the foam just too thick?
The
anything
foam
out,
underneath.
in the middle area. I know it's really thick here, but is it less thick over here?
You cannot see below the surface of the water at all. It is just soap.
Okay. He is going to... So, is there any way he can start playing his instrument at a very loud volume and hope that any of the hostile creatures below can hear it?
From before, I'll say go ahead and roll for free, just a investigation check. 17. You ascertain that this is not really enough to block audio from coming through, and you didn't... I don't know that I can share too much information because you came somewhat late, but you ascertain it would probably be fine.
Okay, so he starts strumming his lute. It still sounds wonderful, it's just very loud. More so than he probably would. And he's going to try and cast Dissonant Whispers on the closest hostile creature.
You do not need to be able to see them, correct?
They need to be able to hear me.
Okay. What is the range?
60 feet.
Where you are currently? Okay. You focus in, and as you hold on to the lute and you begin to strum, The rest of you inside the water, you look down and you see the seahorse begin to be like, as it looks around trying to figure out the source. You hear the strange reverberating music just above the surface. And that is what kind of saving throw for Dissonant?
It is a wisdom saving throw. I can't target them, so I can't do any of my stuff, but
It does not succeed.
okay. I guess I'll just put it on myself.
I'll do Dissonant Whispers for you.
Okay. Yeah, because I have to like tell it to consume the spell slots and do all that. So I just want to make sure.
I got you. And meanwhile, anything with the rest of your turn? First or second level?
Just a normal first level.
Failed this. Alright, it is dissonantly whispered.
And as a bonus action, Killian just dove into the water. He's gonna look down and be like, "Well, as long as I remain dry, you guys can use this." And he's gonna try and switch the tune to something a little bit more upbeat, hoping it's more inspiring towards the party. And if Killian is within 60 feet, they will gain a bardic inspiration.
Also, as you let fly this song, the seahorse on the bottom of the water just begins to shirk aggressively as blood just pours out of the spout in its mouth. It was 12 damage that was rolled from the Dissonant Whispers, and the seahorse looks incredibly bloodied from that.
Cool. And can you apply a bardic inspiration to Killian?
Killian? Absolutely. I'm gonna bring in like a ghost Vincent.
I'd like that. Just stick me at the top of the thingy so I can target stuff.
Well, sure. Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. I'll just make you visible. I don't know if you gain visibility of the area. Can you now see underwater?
Can't see anyone or tokens or anything, but yes.
Try this one more time. And then
Didn't-
but yeah. In the meantime, is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
That bardically inspired who again? Killian?
Killian. I can actually do it now since I'm in there.
And at the end of Vincent's turn, Killian.
All right. Killian's gonna keep. How deep is the water? It gets deeper as we go in, but
It goes further than you can see.
okay. Oh, like I can't see the bottom of where I'm swimming.
No, it continues into darkness past your visible range.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm gonna swim 15 feet this way. Do I see any sign of Matilda?
There is a trail of blood leading. You're basically currently moving through it, and you can see that blood trail around the corner and down through to the other side. Also, where you were standing previously was here, yes? Actually,
Yeah.
it was like here. I'm just going to pop you back there for a sec.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You were not able to view her light, but now you can see the light cascading outwards from the right side.
I'm gonna continue to swim forward. I guess I can get to right here. Is the eel looking at me?
The eel was looking at you previously, and it's turned and is now paying more attention towards Matilda.
Okay. Would it be a free interaction to just tap the eel, like this? I'm
As
not,
long as you're
casting a
not,
spell or anything.
yeah.
I'm just trying to get its attention.
I would say roll dex. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, because at current, it's like slithering away from you. It's just frozen in place right there as you're chasing after it, and you reach to grab it, but the tail flitters outside of your range.
Okay. Well, that is my turn.
No action?
My action was dashing. That's why I moved 30.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Beauty. As you follow after the eel and attempt to get its attention, it manages to just barely slip out of your reach, and Matilda, you are up. You see the eel barreling down towards you now.
Oh shit.
Also, the seahorse should have ran the, like, get out of dodge.
Reaction.
Yeah.
As a reaction.
Use its reaction to run as far away.
You also see the
Oh,
seahorse
it already
just
used its reaction to hit JoJo. So.
Yeah, I think I might have used its reaction already.
That is true. So it's still there.
Never mind. Preemptively made a mistake. That was correct.
And Matilda, you were up.
I am going to get my ass out of the water.
If you pop up one, only one of these creatures will be able to attack you.
Where does Vincent's? Is it like a pocket of air, or does she break the surface?
As a pocket of air.
Okay.
Why would this creature have disadvantage? Should not have disadvantage. Manages to bite onto you. You take 1 point of damage as it chomps down.
Okay. Okay. And I'll move over here. Oh. Can't move there? Rude.
You can move to the right one if you want.
Okay, cool. I move there. I'm gonna healing light myself again.
Second creature also takes a bite and misses as you manage to dodge out of the way of its teeth.
Oh, that dice is crazy on my screen.
I'll heal for 3, and then I am going to hold my action. And I would like to hold an Eldritch Blast for when I see a hostile creature come towards me.
Is healing light an action?
It's a bonus action.
Very nice. As you dodge out of the way and you manage to skirt the surface and take in the oxygen, you've reset your counter. So you take a deep breath of well-needed air and you hold on to this crackling energy. If an attack misses you, do you dodge? Do you dash, disengage? Do you tank it, or do you dodge, or do you like deflect? How do you feel?
Matilda would probably dodge. She's tiny.
Alrighty, sweet.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
She
and you
would
don't
be
have
like,
any
"No."
armor on.
No, I do.
You see Vincent at the top of the water. Seelan takes a knee and just focuses in, sits steady, and just watches the water, waiting. Meanwhile, did we miss your turn, Vincent?
Nope. I dissonant whispers and did all that stuff.
Oh, there you are. You're above. I thought we missed you in the combat tracker.
Don't worry.
Fish move up and are now currently blocking your. If you ever wanted to get back into the water, Matilda, these two fish got your number. But they move up towards you, and mindlessly they begin to attempt to bite at you.
If I had a broom, I'd be telling them to get.
Yeah, both of these creatures fly in towards you. They're like ducking and weaving in between. They go to chomp. You lift your feet up in time. They both impale themselves in a similar fashion to the two previous fish. 2 critical failures. Both of them
they killed each
die
other.
and just bloop, raise up into the
No.
water above you.
I don't know if these fish deserve to live. It seems like natural selection, if you ask me.
Yeah,
You know,
these
you
guys-
say that as a joke, but having seen these fish, the length of their teeth, and everything about them, nothing about these creatures seems natural, right? These even their mouths were so distended with teeth that they couldn't really close them properly because the teeth were so long. And you guys
Aw.
do take note that these creatures
like the pug
do
of
not
fish.
seem to be natural.
Oh,
Little bit.
yes.
A little bit.
Matilda does eye those fish. They look like they'd make a great thing to put in her bag or tie to her waist. She has no crow this time.
Meanwhile, Matilda, you see Quaria appear at the base and is looking towards you, seeing the dead fish around you. Pulls back into this aggressive stance. You see her bare her shark-like teeth, and as the body of her moves in, you see her legs kicking. Those legs dissipate for a brief moment, and you can see the vision of a long aquatic tail formed of water underneath her.
I did
She points a hand towards you, and you see this just streak of acid just bubble out from her fingertips and fly through the water towards you. I need you to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Well, then my held action goes off. Because she technically is hostile. So
Mhm.
That is true. The fish also were previously, but that
they
he
died.
chose
though.
not to do it. Yeah, they
It
did not manage
didn't
to
even
do
have
it.
time to get it off. They kill each other.
It was a little pathetic what happened. Yeah.
So did you tell me to do a con save, correct?
Yes.
I'll do that first because she is in the null impact. Okay. Saves. Just a check. Is it a save?
It is a saving throw.
Okay.
A 10. As she unleashes this blast of acid through the water towards you, you are struck aggressively by it, and as the acid splatters up through the water, it just shoots out almost like a cone as it breaches the surface and manages to get on, like, in your eyes. You hold back and you attempt to open them, but you are blinded, and as the acid begins to sear into you, you take 20 points of acid damage.
Does my thing go off first though? My Eldritch
Yeah,
Blast?
that would trigger
Yes,
first.
that would trigger first.
Okay.
So
Do this
as the
first.
acid flies in towards you, you charge it and unleash your blast.
So, I do want to say is that if anyone can see where my light's coming from, they know that a light's there, and then an Eldritch Blast comes out, and then all of a sudden the light goes out.
No, the light would still remain because you don't concentrate on it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? It doesn't go out when you become unconscious?
No.
Nope.
'Cause you can
Light is
cast
a
it on
spell that just
objects
has
and
the
stuff.
duration.
But that still tells us where you are.
So your ranged spell attack should not have disadvantage. So if you click that, you can just pick normal. Oh, you're not blinded yet. You're
Oh,
totally good.
nice.
Ooh, with a 25, you
Almost
unleash
a
that
crit.
eldritch, that crackling energy, and it slams into Quaria as she exchanges this acid blast against you. Go ahead and roll damage. Blasting her, she takes a solid brunt of damage and just begins to reel back as she looks towards you, and you are unconscious at current.
Yeah, I probably would have been like, ah! Because of my eyes. And yeah, I am unconscious.
You guys do hear this scream echoing through the water. And Killian, you see Quaria in Matilda's light blast that towards, exchange blows, and then she looks towards, turns around and focuses on you. She's holding some kind of object in her hand, and in the light you can actually manage to see it. It's like a small straw doll. She is staring towards you aggressively. Quaria looks towards the eel, and you just hear boop, 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 as small bubbles leave her mouth and pop, and each pop you hear "Ode, I eat so it an." The eel turns its attention towards you and begins to attack. What do you think about this? Yeah, it's gonna take a bite. Rolling with disadvantage. Entirely certain.
Wisdom saving throw to hit Killian.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do that again.
No, the eel passed. So
Oh,
is
it's Sanctuary
is it
only
immune?
ever once.
I thought it was each
Let me
attack
double
you
check that.
reroll. Yeah.
I
I
feel
thought
like
it
it
was
is.
each turn.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, you're right.
It's every attack.
My 3.5
Yeah.
brain.
On a harmful, I'll just want to see if it's every attack or every turn.
Pretty sure it's every attack.
I'm sorry. If the warded creature makes an attack, oh, that's you. Nope, you're all good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, as it goes to chomp, it opens its mouth and does not seem like it could comply with Quaria's request, whatever it may have been. Slowly begins to back up and just stares at you in confusion.
Nice.
Looks back towards Quaria, looks towards you, and then heads down. Cannot make it out. Seahorse looks up towards you, Jojo, and Bloody, you see one of the fins kind of not working as well anymore, turns and just begins to move to the south. Passes by Quaria, and you see her run her fingers across the seahorse's back, and it continues trudging down. Current. Fish have all been all but dealt with. And at the top, Jojo. Looking down, you can see Quaria, who is paying attention to everything that's going on.
I don't think I can see Corey.
She is in Matilda's light. Oh, around the corner. You can
Yeah, I
basically
can see.
just see Matilda's light. You did see the attacks go back and forth.
Yeah, I did. Hearing the scream, Jojo's gonna make a dash towards
The light.
I can't remember how to place her down. It doesn't seem to be working anymore.
Right click or spacebar.
So that's my full 30. I don't think I have anything I can do on a bonus action right now. No, I don't. So that's my turn.
Alrighty. The eel continues to the south. The seahorse continues to the south.
Just so you know, Adrian, we can't see Corey. Like, we can't see the token. I think she's invisible.
I can see it.
Jojo can
See it?
Oh, okay.
As the eels move to the south, Jojo, you feel vibrations in the water. You feel them moving closer towards you. Killian, you cannot feel these vibrations, and Matilda, you can also feel these vibrations as they continue to move closer and closer towards you.
I can't. I'm unconscious.
That is true. You can feel it. You just don't know you can feel it. Jojo, right at the edge of your visual range, you see this massive serpent-like creature just begin to slither its way as it stares up towards you, nearly 3 times the size of those previous eels. This one coiled together in order to make it so it can comfortably move about the space. It just looks at you almost intimidatingly, and it stops, it halts its movement, and just stays at the bottom, watching everything that's happening. Vincent, it is your turn.
Following what the old man said before, Vincent's going to try and send a message out to Obi, see if he responds. Obi, are you there? Your father's here. He's looking for you.
120 feet.
Yeah, towards the water.
Let me see. Roll a fate dice.
14 again.
No response.
Do I feel like it just didn't connect, or do I feel like it connected and he's not responding?
You don't feel like it connected. If he's down there, he's further than the range.
Okay.
Or maybe he's not down there at all.
That was my action. That's all I do. I'll move a little bit more this way. Just to maybe where I was before wasn't working very well. And I'll have to end my turn.
Killian.
Okay. Killian swims 15 feet closer to Quaria, holding out her hand like stop, or like I'm not dangerous, and then puts the other hand back behind her and pulls out the wooden horse that she had grabbed from the shed.
Quaria slowly opens her eyes. Roll persuasion. You see, she was like staring at you aggressively for a moment as you approached, and as you approach with this calmness and even the aura of calm emanating from you, you pull out that small wooden seahorse or rocking horse.
Don't forget you have bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How does this work? So I did the ability check, and then it's showing me a number.
So it's prompting you that's the number you rolled. It's prompting if you want to use your bardic inspiration on it. So
Okay. How do I not do the
I
bardic?
think you just hit the X.
close it.
Yeah, you probably
okay.
just closed the dialogue.
Cool.
Oh, that explains
hell
why.
I don't need it.
I'll say this.
Oh
Quaria,
my god.
Jojo, you see Quaria, that tail underneath her, that just form of energy that is formed into this tail that grants her this aquatic-like movement through the water, dissipates, and she is going to use her reaction right now to move up towards you. She just moves in quickly and slowly reaches towards the rocking horse. Do you let it go? She pulls it, looks around at all of you, looks back towards Matilda. She brings it up to her chest, reaches a hand back, and you once again see those bubbles just boom, así. The large creature in the bottom slithers back into the darkness behind it. You are all effectively out of combat. Euphoria looks towards you now. Killian looks towards Jojo. She
Jojo
grabs...
puts her hands up like this and starts swimming towards where Matilda.
Yeah, I was gonna say death saving throws are still technically active, so
At this point, Matilda, I would need you to make one death saving throw.
The first one of the campaign.
Feels like
Hopefully not the first
time.
one of the campaign.
Euphoria grabs onto you, Killian, and pulls you in towards the air and just thrusts you out into the oxygen,
All right.
taking a few tentative steps away from the lot of
Normal, advantage, or disadvantage?
you.
normal.
Normal. Yeah. You succeed.
Yay!
Hooray!
Oh, we're planning on doing those
Right.
secret, right?
Oh, that's
Oh,
up to you
I'm
guys.
sorry.
That's
Only
up to
if
you
the
guys.
person
Yeah,
wants to.
because that can be a point of anxiety for people.
Yeah, Jojo holds onto Matilda's body.
And you have flashbacks towards Jaeger doing the same thing as
Yeah.
one more of those roses dissipates.
Yeah, she holds out Matilda to Killian.
Yeah. I grab like a pair of like tongs from my belt, and I just kind of like cinch them around Matilda's arm, and then channel healing energy through the tongs from me into her.
I just imagine like salad tongs. You're just like, tap.
Salad! That's all I can
Sorry,
think of.
what?
All I
Have you
heard
not-
was
have you not seen-
salad.
Have you never
Oh,
all
salad
I heard
fingers?
was
Oh,
salad.
goodness no.
Yeah,
the salad finger.
But anyway.
Oh, okay.
Killian. Killian, you begin
Yeah.
to channel this energy through your artificer tools, and as the solid just knowledge of magic and your mastery of the arcane tears through, the wounds upon her body begin to suture and close. Tilda, you heal 5 hit points, and you return to life, looking up towards the briny roof of the stone cavern, and you float at the base of the water. You see Coria underneath, staring up towards you all, holding onto that rocking horse.
Are you okay?
Easy.
I severely miscalculated.
Yeah, what the fuck were you doing?
Kind of seems like that. We can talk about this later. I think I managed to convince her to stop attacking us. You can leave.
Jojo, you just hear Vince's voice in your head. So what's the situation down below?
We've gone diplomacy.
Are you coming back up?
Yeah, soon.
Keep me posted.
She's gonna turn to Quaria. Do you understand us?
Stares at you.
Okay, yeah, let's go back up to the surface. We can talk about it there.
I say to Coria, where's Obi?
She hears the word Obi, and she perks up briefly and turns and just begins to swim down. As she stops, looks at you, and just holds up the rocking horse one more time and just begins to swim to the south.
Oh, does she want us to follow her?
You take Matilda. I'll follow her.
Okay, tell her, if you can communicate with her, not to come to the surface.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that entirely.
Jojo grabs you aggressively and drags you with her back to the surface.
Like an angry mother.
Yeah.
Do you do it like sack of potatoes or like what?
Just grab you by the
and
ear.
over your
By the
shoulder,
scruff.
like over her shoulder, she throws you and starts swimming up, kicking your legs hard.
I have a quick question, Adrian, while they're swimming back to the surface.
Sure.
For how long we walked out, because again, Vincent knows the area pretty well. He's grew up around here. Is this a part of this person's farm or is this out of his jurisdiction?
This is way out of the way. Whether or not he owns like this massive parcel of land, you don't know, but typically this would not be something he owns.
Okay.
As soon as the two of you breach the surface, Seelan, who has in no way been told of what's been going on, looks towards you, and I'm going to roll a constitution check for him to see whether or not he looses that gunshot.
I do want to
Vincent-
say. Oh,
Oh, no. You can go first.
I was gonna say Matilda's like on your back, just like.
The two of you breach the top of the surface, and Sealan's like, "What I fucking tell you about? I'm gonna shoot you! I'm gonna shoot you! Don't why you want to
Ken,
get
are you
full of
just
that?"
like-
me?
Turn the old man, so if he gets fucking trigger happy.
You turn him around, and he's just like, "Yes, God damn it! Yes, I am threatening you. If you do not do what I say in the future, I swear this gun's gonna find you. This gun's gonna
Joe
find you."
throws Matilda on the shore. Just
Uh,
I can't.
Vincent's still with his lute in his hand, just kind of like his fingers just slightly strum one of the chords. Just it could be an accident or not. And he's gonna subtly cast suggestion. I need Salem to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, his name should have been Salem. That's a
Or is
really
it
cool
Salem?
name.
Ooh, I did like that name.
That is a cool name. Kerrigan. Now there's a Salem somewhere. Wisdom saving throw. I'm just kidding. Whether or not there was a Salem or not, you'll have no knowledge of that into the future. He looks at you and he says, "What did I say before? What did I say before? You looking at me? You trying?"
I didn't get a suggestion. Sorry.
As you begin to speak the components of the spell,
I
looks-
don't. I subtly casted it.
Oh, fascinating. Okay, so as you
That's why I
look-
specifically said the material components was me accidentally plucking up. Like I was walking by and my finger scraped against my lute.
Brilliant. My bad. I was somewhere else, I guess. As you begin to play, he does succeed on the saving throw with a natural 20.
Okay. I would know this, so I just kind of like jot that in my head, but no harm in done.
So you cast suggestion at base level.
Yeah.
So
no
he would
reason to
know
upcast
that
it.
you cast it.
Nope, you wouldn't. That's charm.
It does not say that if they succeed to save, they know you cast it.
Nowhere in suggestions does it say that. It's in chat if you wanted to read it. But
I'm gonna take a quick check. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. If failed save, it pursues the course of action, etc. The suggestion must be worded in a manner asking the creature. A creature that fails the saving throw but cannot pursue the course of action. More, etc. Okay, in this instance, awesome. I think that is a different spell I was thinking.
yeah,
So
I was thinking
he-
charm person.
He turns around and looks towards you. He has absolutely no way of knowing that any kind of spell has gone off. He just feels a little tingle and it's like, "We gotta get my boy."
Your son's fine. Killian's grabbing your son. Put the gun away. We're not killing anyone today.
Excuse me, what? There's
Yeah.
a monster in this lake what's stealing my soap. How you know it ain't the mobbits that put you up to this? And he brings that gun down, points the butt
You
towards
know,
you.
This person that's living in this lake, they didn't hurt anyone. Well, they hurt Matilda, but Matilda, I'm sure she deserved it. And you know what? She's not even guilty of stealing your fucking soap. That was your son's.
Don't you take that tone with me. My boy is gonna be
I'm
punished
going to as
properly.
long. Yeah, do that. But we're not
Um,
killing. We're definitely not helping you kill anyone today.
Dungeon's gonna be here. Dungeon interface office gonna be hearing about all these cuss words. Every
Uh,
job you have from now on, they gonna know you as the Square Squad. I tell you that right now. And you, what are you gonna say? He points towards you,
Vincent chimes up, assessing the situation, and he's just like, he looks around. He's like, as far as I can tell, this is outside of your jurisdiction. You don't own this land either, so just calm down, please. We don't need to make this messy.
Fine. You get down there and you bring up my boy.
You could probably make a deal. You could probably make a deal with her. She seems to really enjoy your soap. She's technically your best customer.
Well, my best customers pay. And you hear this voice kind of
Yeah.
echo down from the top of the water.
I understand.
Killian, as you circle, you also see this just massive behemoth of an eel move in to the south and outside of your view as you and Quoria continue down past this bloodied seahorse that is currently nursing its own wounds with this incredibly long, just surreptitious tongue. That's not a good verb to use for that, but that's what I chose. And as you guys move down, you see Quoria pass through this just solid stone wall. Just bloop. And as she does, the entire thing grows faint and wavers ever so slightly for you as you see beyond it to a small cavern. Entering into the cavern through this illusory wall, you see a small bed formed of moss and flowers. You see trophies that have been placed around. You see bars of soap still in their wrappings, but obviously still heinously waterlogged as the wax wrapping does not quite do enough to hold it. You see crystals all around, and you see like brilliant flourishes of these just bright, various different shades of gray that you assume are very colorful as you glean around the area. And Quoria makes her way over past this bed of moss that she has made and breaches the surface in a small cavern to the eastern side.
All right, I kind of side-eye the big eel. Oops, sorry, I was holding on to Killian when you moved her.
All good.
I side-eye the eel, but I continue to follow Quoria.
The eel side-eyes you back and makes its way over to a different small cavern. And as Quoria breaches the surface, you see her sitting now alongside the young Obi McGurk, who is kind of just in the top of this area as Quoria approaches and begins to move in. She hands him the rocking horse. He's like, oh, I thought I lost it. Quoria, where did you get this? And as you kind of follow through, he's like, oh, you're okay. Are you all... Are you okay?
I'm fine. My friend's a little hurt, but I think people just got off on the wrong foot.
Quoria, did you hurt them? She just looks up towards him, and you see her eyes wide, and she stares back towards you.
It's not her fault. It's people do things. They get crazy when they're trying to like protect people. I think she was just protecting you.
She just points towards the rocking horse again and like pushes it into his chest, and he's like, thank you. She smiles and just begins to move back towards the water. Kind of passes by you briefly and moves into that open cavern as you are left alone with Obi for a moment.
Your dad's worried about you. We ended up catching your brother. And we used some magic to make him tell us about this place and the fact that you and him have been stealing the soap.
You take note, too, as you are talking with him, he is staring you straight in the eyes, despite the absolute pitch darkness in the area around you. Like he's watching your movements, he is actively paying attention to you. He says, I don't care about my dad. I don't care about I want to live in the farm anymore. I'd rather live here with Quoria. Tell him I'm just going to stay underwater here and become like a water guy.
As much... I mean, that's your decision to make, but if you... I mean, I've only met your dad for like less than a day, and I'm pretty sure if you told him that, or if I told him that you were going to stay down here and become a water guy, he'd start yelling about water muppets, and he'd probably just come back with more people and more weapons, and it'd be dangerous for Quoria.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Oh, Killian.
No, not disadvantage. I clicked the wrong thing.
Well, these can still count. Just do the opposite.
That's true. Yeah, it's a 15 plus 3 instead, so 18.
Wonderful. We have to protect Quoria. We have to make sure she's okay. Okay, here, take me back up.
Yeah, I'm a really slow swimmer. But how long can you hold your breath for?
Oh, I got like at least a minute in me. I made it down here, so that's okay. 1 second. And he goes over here, says that, Quaria, and then breaches the water. As he approaches her, he just opens his arms, holding on to the toy in his hand, and Quaria reaches forward and gives him a hug and begins to move upwards. She reaches a hand out towards you to offer you ferry up to the surface of the water.
I mouth like thanks or thank you and take her hand.
As the three of you begin to move upwards, she grabs onto a small box as well. Just kind of holding it next to her, you see a little bubble bloop appear, and then it moves in stride with her. She throws a bubble over top of Obi's head, but does not manage to do more than that. And as you hold your breath, ascending, the rest of you, on the surface of the water, you spot 3 figures approach as the soap slowly bubbles upwards and eventually breaches with cracks.
Can Killian kind of like maneuver as we start to breach to be in front of Quaria?
As you breach, Seelan looks
Seelan-
down towards the water and seeing the 3 of you held together for a brief moment. I'm gonna roll dexterity for it.
Yeah, I'm assuming Jojo's gonna try and stop him.
Yeah,
He's like,
Jojo's gonna try and grab the gun.
As he sees the 3 of you breach and he spots Quaria in the middle, he brings his hand down and begins to aim once again, attempting to take a knee. Go ahead and roll dexterity.
Just straight dexterity check.
If you want to use an ability check, you can be like, I want to use this for this reason.
Could I use athletics to strong arm it, sort of grab him? It's more of like a grapple check, I guess.
For sure, yeah. I'll add his athletics bonus to this, or acrobatics, and you may go ahead and roll athletics.
Ooh, bad.
Ooh, natural 1 for a 5. He did roll a 6 with a +1 for his. So one way or the other,
No.
that would have been. He aims the gun down, and as you try and grab it, he jerks off to the side, and you see him basically dive towards the ground in order to take this planned shot. Vincent, yes, you absolutely may.
I'm gonna cast command on him and tell him to drop it. She's dropping the gun.
Okay, so that's a wisdom save, I believe.
I think so. Could I guess I didn't have enough time to get off a unsettling words on him.
No, 2 things would be too much. This is all happening very quickly. What is your spell save DC?
13.
Does not matter. What is your command?
I told him to drop it, so drop.
He dives off to the side, points his gun towards Quaria, and as you say that, in one quick flash, throws the gun into 4 different pieces as he hits the ground, and he's just like, "No, what are you doing?" And he stands up and just tries to like grab the pieces of the gun that he just dismantled. As you see Quaria just frightened between the 2 of you.
I'm assuming Jojo will probably try to grapple again. This is silly. You could hit your sons. Calm down. She's not gonna hurt anyone.
Quaria goes under, and Obi begins to swim through the muck. He's like, "Dad, stop! Stop right now! It was us, okay? It wasn't Quaria, and there's no water mobbits. Dad, you're being weird. Been weird for a while. You need to stop all of this." Begins to approach. He's like, "Oh boy," like leans in, pulls Obi in, and begins to ruffle his hair. It's like, "Dad, don't, your beard." Pushes him away. Vincent and Jojo and Matilda and Killian. Seelan does not have a beard. It's relatively clean shaven, nothing more than a little bit of stubble as Obi pushes him away. He's like, "You will not hold back affection, young man," and he brings him in and begins to give him a hug again. And he's just like, "Now, you've been tricked by that monster. I know plenty of monsters what can charm you, and why are you protecting her? Why you think you're doing that? You think you're of the right mind?"
Well, we do have the ability to figure out if people have magic on them. Would you like us to see?
Yeah, you can do that. You do that.
I look towards Jojo.
I'm out.
Oh. Maybe another day then.
Well, fuck me, I guess. And he looks back towards his son. "I'm getting you away from here, and then we're gonna You don't worry nothing about this
Well-
lake, okay? This pond it's gonna be fine.
What spell do you have on you, though?
He looks back towards you. He doesn't currently have anything on him. The spells that he had been casting on himself stopped like 10 minutes into the journey.
I think she's just inclining that something's fucked up with him.
Yeah, like we noticed that there's like a beard, but no beard, and we're seeing something that's not there.
He like reaches for his chin and begins to scratch his fingers through open air. He's like, what you talking about?
You. Here, and he'll minor illusion. This is what you look like to us.
Begins to approach. And you can see him like squint his eyes aggressively, and he's like, I ain't that old.
This is
Oh,
how.
I'm 35 years old. Wrong with you?
Darling, I couldn't fathom this imagination. I prefer them younger as well.
Listen, I ain't got nothing to do with all this. You adventurers trying to trick me into something, I know it. But I tell you what, you did a job. I'm gonna pay you for that job. We found out what's going on. I'm gonna tell the guild that this is all right, okay?
Yeah, this and Vincent will gesture there. We'll report this to the guild, so don't worry about that.
As
We'll make sure it's protected or not, depending on what the situation is.
well,
Joe, can I get a
making
little
sure
help?
to fill.
Yeah.
It's like- Struggling down here.
Like,
He reaches down a
breaking the
hand and
surface.
grabs you up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure to fill in the report real decent and make sure everyone knows what's going on over here. All right, so you just going home. Sealan turns and begins to leave. You see Quaria breach for a brief moment again and is just watching you all from this water's surface. Slowly approaches as well.
Vincent
Killian
will
is
go
helped out of the
over
water.
and kind of kneel, not kneel, but like crouch down. So that's what you look like as they're walking off. And he'll kind of, did you do something to them?
She doesn't seem to understand you. As you point towards them, a faint look of surprise. And as Sealan begins to pull Obi turns and looks towards Quaria, and Quaria closes her eyes and begins to stare at the water's surface like conflicted by something.
What is this? What is she? Is she just kind of like a mix between a snake and a mermaid? Like, what does she look like again?
As you immediately stare at her, she simply has a vision of I mean, at current, she's pretty much covered in purple soap scum. But as she looks at you, she has like this long black hair. She has a very soft face, fine features, incredibly beautiful. But her eyes are larger, elongated, and they shine with this opalescence. And as she looks at you and she, like, especially, she seems to wear these emotions on her face. When she was fighting, she was vicious. And when she stares at you now, the conflict in her emotions is just clear to see.
Do Obi and her look related?
No.
No,
Obi's
okay.
like a small boy, brown hair, or actually
Okay.
blonde hair, kind of ragged a bit. And
Yeah,
he's
they
also
look
covered in
human.
purple soap scum right now. As
What's
Sealan
wrong?
continues to pull Obi.
I lift my hand up non-threateningly and I'll prestidigitation the soap scum off of everyone, including around the area the woman in the quarry is.
The magic the soap just begins to fizzle away off into just ash that dissipates into the open air. And you can also see a little bit of the soap on the surface of the water also dissipates, leaving a small area of clear water before it slowly begins to fill in again. And
Hey,
Gloria looks towards you. with
do you
surprise.
guys, Jojo will turn toward Vincent and Killian and Matilda. Could you guys, I don't know, help me translate this? I think you guys might be better at communicating with her than I am.
Give me a sec. I'm gonna try speaking Goblin to her. I'm just gonna say, "Do you understand me?" in Goblin.
She looks over towards you and recognizes a different language, but does not seem to recognize the words you're saying.
I don't think she's gonna be able to speak anything. We
Um,
know.
If you need a place to live, if this place becomes unsafe because of Sealan or some other people, I think that there's a lake or a pond in Old Town, right? There's a pretty big.
There is.
Yeah.
There's a rather large lake.
And we now have a lifetime supply of soap. So
She's just staring at you, still like confused, but can tell that your words have like some compassion in them.
I try.
Vincent- Sorry. I was to say Vincent's gonna essentially minor illusion try to like communicate through vision instead of words.
What image do you conjure?
I'm gonna show the lake in Old Town, and then I'm gonna show this lake, and then the angry old man, and like with the shotgun.
Roll persuasion with advantage. As she is looking at these images that you are conjuring, she seems to be following along with what you're saying. Oh, silver tongue
19.
as well. 19. As she is looking, when you conjure the image of the angry old man, once again, she like looks away, and you can see her close her eyes and just dives underwater. She returns briefly with that box that she was previously holding, and as she begins to climb up and out of the water, just dripping from the top down, you see this just she's wearing nothing really but a thin veiled white dress that clings tightly to her frame, all but see-through, and this just bits of vines and purple soap covering her frame. As she goes over here to a piece of solid land, plops down on the ground, and places the box. Opening it, you see on the inside this like foam seal and crayons. And she just begins to thumb through them like they are her treasures. As she pulls out a small piece of vellum parchment and opens it, she places it down. She looks towards you with a look of conviction and begins to draw drawings in order to attempt desperately to communicate.
Vincent, can you go over and do the same?
Absolutely.
We'll switch from minor illusion to physical drawings.
So I will bring these in. Oh my god, they are huge.
Oh, you have drawings?
I do.
Oh
I do
my
have drawings.
god.
You predicted how we might communicate. Nice.
Well, I predicted
I'm
how she would be capable.
astounded
Yeah.
at the high level DM shit you always get prepared, Adrian.
I don't have drawings, Adrian. What am I supposed to do? Can't one up.
You didn't
Vincent.
prepare
Use
for this
your word
moment?
drawings.
I didn't prepare this for this moment, guys. I'm sorry.
So she draws individual drawings, which I
Okay, yeah.
will do my best to.
Oh, these are
incorporate.
adorable.
Oh my goodness. I love this.
This is the first that she draws.
Aw.
Second comes in.
Look at Sealand's hair. It's like a Jimmy Neutron. I love it.
He's about to have a brain blast.
Oh man.
Oh, she's got like a.
Okay, that's
shackle on her
her.
throat.
Oh.
I'm gonna
Oh,
just
by the
move
way.
your guys' characters.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
She's
she was
trapped?
trapped. Oh.
Or captured.
The third drawing comes in. I will actually just, I think, delete these for space. There is one full drawing that I can post for you guys afterwards. She continues to draw these things, looking towards your reactions and seeming to understand everything that has currently happened.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, why do you do this, Adrian?
Can you make it look like a child drew it?
This is
It's
the best
so
she can do.
cute.
Oh, it has a baby.
Oh wait, is this the mom? Like the
Oh!
color? It looks like the same mom, right?
Yeah.
It does.
Oh.
As the drawings continue, one after the next, she cycles through.
Oh, she charmed the boys.
Are the boys? The boys don't have swords.
This might not be the boys.
She might just be charming
They don't have the same hair.
guards.
Yeah, someone.
Did
It's
it
like-
that picture before look like the mother like adopted her or like actually gave birth to her? Because there was like I couldn't tell if that was like in the belly or like just in the arms.
I
In
can
the
actually have
arms.
everybody roll a general one investigation check, group investigation for deciphering these images as well.
Would I be able to?
Ooh, 24, natty 20.
Would I be able to add anything from me being proficient with painter supplies? 'Cause these are drawings.
Dirty
Yes,
20.
absolutely. You can have advantage on this. As she continues drawing these, You guys all manage to, you're working together and back and forth, and Quarry actually really seems to be enjoying this. And the further along the drawings go, you see that enjoyment begin to lower. As she draws the drawing of the woman with arms outstretched, you ascertain that that is not that she is her mother, but that she found her. And for one moment, she felt as though she was happy,
Loved. Yeah.
loved, cared for. As she continues drawing, she seems to have charmed some individuals, called out to them to draw them in.
Oh.
Ooh, spooky.
That's the mother.
Yeah.
Is that the mother? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Ugh.
I told you it was a friend
I
for
knew
something.
I thought it was fishy that she was so nice to Killian off.
Oh,
the
was it
bat.
fishy?
Humans tend to not do that.
Qoria does not laugh because she does not understand what she
Yeah.
did.
The boys
The brothers.
So,
The boys approach with the sword. She is happy once more.
Is this the last drawing? Oh, there is a second mother.
Wait, what?
Unless this means something. There is an evil creature that reigns over the family. And it makes her sad. But I don't think it's the same mother.
Did someone take her spot?
look at how Silen's hair's changed.
Oh, he's got old. Yeah.
I
Is
think
it-
What's going on?
the baby and the mom are trapped somewhere.
Maybe. Oh, in the shed.
I feel like we would have heard though. We did bust a hole in it.
Well, I mean,
It's
I
the only
think,
place that's I could think of that they'd be.
yeah. We looked in the basement. There's nothing in the basement. So there's only really either, unless they're in the attic of the house, or there's a secret place under the soap shed.
Well, we dug down and then we just hit rock. Haka did that.
No, it was fortified. Doesn't that seem really suspicious? Like I said, it's a front for something. They're keeping something down there and they don't want anyone to get it out.
So,
Qoria.
When just to confirm, guys, so I'm all on the same page as you. When Paka dug underneath the shed, he hit rocks.
He
It
hit
wasn't
solid
fortified.
rock.
Okay.
And then I will bring in the entire image. With your guys' previous investigation check, you have the full picture. You understand the nature of what it was that had happened from Qoria's drawings as the family moved into the home and she was alone, tethered to this pond. She was sad until eventually she was happy again. Someone intervened. Her mother approached. And as this woman, who had moved into the farm previously, began to usher her with love, she began to bring others in, charming them and sending them to her where they were captured. As Qoria began to be visited by the young boys and began to feel for them, she became scared and sad once more as this creature that had previously captured the other adventurers reigns over the family, taking the place of the mother and capturing the mother and child. She now looks onwards. And just to clarify, Seelan and Obi had already left because I forgot to make them invisible.
Okay.
They were made their way into the forest, being pulled hand in hand. Qoria now looks towards you as she drops the last crayon and looks up towards you with tears in her eyes.
I'd like to point at the scary lady in number 6. And just like draw like a little like question mark on the drawing, and then point like make a little arrow to it. Just say, what is it? Do you know what it is?
Roll persuasion.
My bardic.
Oh, nice.
12.
In a broken and dissected common, she
she
attempts to write out several characters. Well, like a child who is attempting to learn the language. She manages to, with crayon full in hand, writes out only a few letters for you. Of those letters, I will now post them here.
Mother? Her mother.
I point at her. Your?
She nods. She then points towards Matilda's left shoulder.
I
You
speak to
related
her.
in some way?
I speak to her in Sylvan. You
Her eyes-
understand?
Her eyes flare to life.
Oh, well, hello. I'm sorry. I didn't know if the eel was going to hurt me, so that's the only reason why I attacked. I very much miscalculated.
She jumps up and comes up to you and grabs you on the shoulders and says, in Sylvan, "You must hurry. I have been found. Mother will not waste time.
Okay, you have to come with us then, please.
I cannot leave the pond. Mother has told me if I do, I will not survive."
Do you believe her?
Of course. Do you not believe your mother?
Sometimes parents, especially the ones that give birth to you, do things that you would never think they'd be able to do. So, no, I don't trust my mother. I think that she would lie to me.
She takes her hands off of you and takes a few steps back, as though that's something she could not possibly fathom. She looks towards all of you as though you can all speak Sylvan and just begins to
We just look at Matilda to translate.
I translate.
She, "Please, you must hurry. There is no time."
Can
Just
you
saying.
ask, the mother in the house? Is it the one she's taken the place of?
Matilda, as you translate back and forth,
Mm.
she looks towards you all and you can effectively communicate. So as she begins to speak, she says, "Mother saved me. Mother was everything. She is everything. But she gets hungry. So hungry. And I've been helping her, but the boys, she cannot eat the boys. Save them, please."
What do you want us to do with your mother?
This could get
Are we gonna
messy.
have to kill her?
Please don't.
You had to choose between your mother or Obi and Heb. Who would it be?
She begins to back towards the water. No.
Life's not always easy. Hard decisions need to be made.
In the eyes of children, parents are often seen as gods. But even gods are not infallible. They make mistakes, they do bad things, and they can also be stopped. So,
Vincent kind of just looks around at them, just comically.
I want to help you. I also don't know if we'll be able to not harm your mother or to see what we can do if we don't want her to eat the boys. That's our first priority. Yes?
She falls down to her knees and she says, "Save them. Don't hurt Mother. Please save them. Please don't hurt Mother."
Do you have a way that would make it easier for us to not kill your mom? Is there like a weakness she has that we could use to incapacitate her?
thinks on that. Let me take a quick glance. Do not look at her. If you look at her, she will frighten you. This is when she strikes. She cares. She cares about her physical appearance. She holds herself so high. Do not be mean to her, but she might stop attacking if you say things about her, the way she looks. You can use this time to get away from her with the boys. Just don't hurt her, please. Don't hurt Mother. She sits back and begins to think. She pulls on her hair and begins to struggle with the concept.
Start heading out.
She has to. It's her mother or the boys at this point. I want everyone to roll a group persuasion check.
15.
Ooh, not very good.
Okay.
Come on, big money. Oh, no.
Oh, come on, Matilda.
You're saving us. Come on, Matilda.
Oh, man. She understands.
Hey, 22.
Oh,
That's
thank
way
God.
better.
Whew.
She looks towards you. And as Vincent, as you say, we best start heading back. She's struggling. She says, "Save the boys." And makes no further mention of her mother as she moves over towards the edge of the waterfall. She says, Here. And moves into the waterfall itself, skirting around the edge.
She wants us to follow her?
Yes.
Oh.
Before we go, I know that later you're probably going to lecture me, which is just fine. I don't see the point. But I'm not doing so hot still. And as much as I want to help, I think we should probably take care of that first before we start going through spooky waterfalls.
Is your mother... I thought we were heading back to help the kids. I don't know where she's going. Jojo, Killian, do you want to hold up? Matilda says that she needs a break. I don't know if we have time.
I don't need a break, but is there any, healing? Does anybody got a potion or something? I just...
Fortunately,
potion.
D&D, I'm blood eater.
Yeah, we can easily see that.
Yeah.
Vincent just kind of walks around. I'm basically tapped out myself, and I didn't think we'd need a potion in this scenario, so I never purchased one.
As you guys say potion repeatedly, Warrior, who is standing in the inside of the lake, turns and dives into the water. And as she begins to swim down, she erupts on the top of the water by the sea eel that slithers its way over to the side. She jumps off, and it just, like a leviathan descending, goes back in underneath the soap. She has a regular potion of healing. She has a greater potion of healing, and she has a red gemstone that seems to be off-putting this faint glow. And she just places them down in front of you.
Is this why she was leading us over to the waterfall, or?
No. She basically abandoned the waterfall as you guys were moving in, and you guys were like, potion, potion, potion. She's like, potion.
And I passed one of the smaller potions over to Matilda. This will do.
I don't think so. I was going to take the bigger one just to ensure that I would have more health, but if you're only wanting me to use a small one, I can use a small one.
I have another spell I could cast, but I was hoping to use it on heroism.
Yeah, no, you save that. I'll take the smaller one.
I thought you had the ability to restore your vigor, Matilda. You mentioned this before.
I do. I like to save it though, just in case any of you.
No, I meant the one that you can do all the time.
Oh, yeah. It's only a little bit though, but I'll take the smaller one. Here, I need something.
Also, as a question, did you have false life on you at the beginning of this combat? Were you burning through 10 hit points?
We assumed that it would be, and I did. The damage was I didn't have it on, but I calculated the damage and it didn't matter. I would have been out regardless.
Ah, gotcha. Alrighty.
Jojo follows Quoria. I can't move on the map though.
But yeah, you can roll the false life because that'll give you could be an 8 extra health, which is pretty good. 7's pretty good.
Nice.
And then the normal healing potion is 2d4 plus 2.
We will calculate that. And then as you begin to move behind, you skirt along the edge of this rock wall. And in the back, obscured by the waterfall, you find a very thin cavern that Quoria manages to walk through. You see as she kind of hits the edge, she almost begins to slide through it like a slime. Her entire body begins to like thin slightly as she makes her way through. You can make your way through. It'll just be a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's squeezing her like buff body through. She's like, oh no. Very
fucking
alpha. She's like,
swole.
oh man, this hallway's too small.
I'll Matilda, can you ask her where we're going?
Hey, going.
Mother
Oh.
has faster ways.
Yeah,
She makes
parents usually do.
She makes her way behind the waterfall, and as you all pass your way through,
Just a quick question, just in case. The red gemstone, Vincent's gonna look at it because he was handed the stuff and he gave it out. Is it anything he's seen before? Is it like just like a spell component, like a ruby, or does it look more than that?
roll Arcana for me. 10. You are unsure. It's visibly magical. It does not seem to pulse with the same glow that the healing potions did. It gives off this kind of soft, unearthly glow. And but you can't really make too much out by staring at it. It's a finely cut ruby. It looks intentional.
Okay.
It's not something that Killian would recognize from the dungeon,
From the dungeon.
like that monsters draw.
Tell you what, you can also roll Arcana on this.
Okay.
It does not look like a monster core, no. 7?
No good.
Yeah, nothing you recognize in a similar fashion. As you all enter into this small cavern, you see this second river. Where there was a waterfall above, there is this subterranean river that seems to have been carved out by hand. You can see scrape marks along the walls and these just various different pathways by massive beasts, as far as you can tell. You also see on the ground, just littering the side, is the corpses of tens of thousands of fish, in a similar vein to the ones that had been attacking you previously with those just distended, massive, sharp teeth.
I grabbed
Just
one.
littering the edge. You grab a Quipper skeleton.
Ooh.
And as you all begin to move in, the water itself, in a faint downhill fashion, you see begins to turn faster and faster. And Quoria standing on the edge, you can see now just like breathing heavily from staying above water for so long, points towards the lake, or this raging river, and says, "This will lead you back to the farm. Mother uses this to get here. She comes up the river."
Hey, are the kids, the boys' real mom? She's still alive?
The child. The child cries. She does not like when the child cries. The mother quiets the child. I do not think mother would have eaten her yet.
Okay.
Oh, they're being held.
Like, mother does not eat all the people who come immediately.
There's also those other 2 travelers that showed up an hour or so ago. Maybe they can be of some use.
Told you it was a front. All that stuff in that safer from all the people she's eaten.
Oh, I didn't doubt something weird was going on. I just didn't think it would fall into our lap.
Okay.
She
Let's
stares
go.
at you.
Here's the question, though, everybody. Do we give a shit that she's eating people?
Why wouldn't we?
I mean,
weird creatures are just part of life. Sometimes you go to a house and get eaten. Like,
I'm
Is that
assuming
normal?
Adrian, this job that we got, it was for a specific family. What one was it again?
Kadi, the mistress of the winds.
I'm assuming if we deal with this, it will give us more favor with the Akari family. Is that?
And if we get the
that is-
hall that's in that vault as well, it's good for the family.
Yeah, I'm sure we can convince the old man to give it to us after we save his family.
There's lots of reasons why we should do this. Morality of it being one of them. If you don't, if you don't care about that.
I mean, I wanted to see what you guys wanted to do, so I'm cool with doing that.
It is a bit of a risky job, considering we're all somewhat drained.
High risk, high
unless
reward.
that's-
I also feel like we're very out of our depth. I don't know if we're quite ready to face off against a creature like this. Usually they're pretty powerful and pretty scary. And we're also going to be going into I think it's probably their lair. You never want to fight something on its home turf, ever. And I don't think
Maybe
we have
we
much of a
can,
choice.
Maybe we can trick them.
I was thinking that as well. If you guys want, as long as you're nearby and you don't leave me, I could try to seduce her. She tends to like to be complimented.
That's true. She did say she was vain.
You could use the opportunity to get
Did
the jump
you-
on her.
Did you say, she turns to Coria and then Matilda, did you say that she, complimenting her appearance or insulting her appearance were good ideas? Which one of those? Insulting.
It will anger Mother. Saying nice things, I think, would make her feel good.
Okay, great. We can use both of those things. Okay, we'll go.
As you guys turn towards the river, this loose river, you do take note that jumping in this pathway, the river will take you. Coria does not seem to have a boat readily available, but there was a destroyed boat and some wooden pieces within her home, as Killian had seen. But as she looks towards the river, she doesn't even take that as a threat towards you guys, and she just gives you a nod as the tears begin to flow. She once
you
again
guys
just
think
says, "Save them." And
Will we have enough breath to get through? I personally don't like getting wet, but I can deal with it.
Are you a strong swimmer? I noticed that you didn't go in.
I wouldn't particularly say I, do it as a job, but I can.
Do you need me to hold on to you or something?
If you wish, Jojo.
I'm just looking to make sure you're safe, okay? Don't get any ideas in your head.
Yeah, Vincent just kind of does a little bow and holds out his hand.
Victoria,
Okay.
can you take me across? Also, when we're done this job, you should probably come live with us. We're not
Coria-
going to be safe.
Coria says, "I cannot leave the pond. Mother has said so."
Mother also might eat the boys, so why don't you kind of meditate on that for a little bit? And then I'll come ask you again after, okay?
She just looks back towards you with this look of dread and is like, "Okay."
Yeah, because yeah. Mothers don't usually want to eat small children, So, yeah. All right. Okay, let's go, guys.
She looks at you as she turns around and glances at you. She's like, "What are you talking about? Yeah, they do. That's like half the thing that motherly monsters do." As she turns and begins to make her way back towards the pond, she breaches the side of the waterfall, and you hear bloop as she dives into the soap once more. And as you all glance back towards this river raging downwards, you all just prepare to hop on in.
Yep.
You
Plug
walk.
my
Grab.
nose and just jump in.
Vincent, takes. Do we leave Paka? I'm assuming because he's not here
Oh.
at the farm.
Yeah, Paco is not taken with you guys.
Cool.
Paco's probably back at the campfire, currently just roasting bugs that he
Grapes.
found. And it's just
I thought you were gonna say he's roasting on this.
he's roasting himself. This is fun. As
yeah,
the
so
camera
most of
views, sorry, go ahead.
I was to say most of Vincent's stuff is back there, but he just kind of buttons up a couple things so they stay on a little better. during this ride he's about to go on.
As the camera views you guys from the back, seeing the silhouettes within the dark, you all look towards this small river that just funnels down the hill, and as Killian plugs her nose and you all move forward, you all begin to take the leap, and time freezes as we end our session there.
Yeah.
It's a
And we will
freeze
take
frame
our
jumping
break
into
here.
the water.
Yeah, as you move towards
Amazing.
Whitewater Rapids with a pep in your step. That is where we'll end today's session. Thank everyone so much for watching, and we will see you all next time in the Dragon League.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.